it's yours, but still in me. I cannot detox from this conviction. You're inside my misery box. I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I don't deserve you. You stay true. I want to save you from my misery. You couldn't save me from my misery. I'm addicted to my misery box. Addicted to my misery box.
5 members of the prominent Rhineswan family were found dead. Investigators believe the killer may be the same individual the media has dubbed the Red Crier.
And good morning, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to have some delicious, malicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back indeed. Hello to you. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I know we had a busy weekend over here on the morning nonsense side. Had 3 streams this weekend, one every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here we go, chat. And today we're going to dive into some Star Wars stuff. Pulled up some Star Wars videos, some things to talk about to be pretty interesting. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Gorilla Morris says, good morning, everyone. Don't forget to get your workouts in today. Absolutely. Lieber Wolf, get your coffee. Hello to Lieber Wolf. Hello to you. Hudson Bomb says, morning, folks. Hopefully you didn't get your channel flagged or watch Animal Farm, which talks about the horrors of capitalism. Wait, that's not right. Yeah, they're so cobby over there in Hollywood. They made Animal Farm, but to criticize capitalism. You know, the whole thing where the whole system as to how they got their money and everything. There's no way that any system that says to each to their need, right, would give Seth Rogen $1 million. He doesn't very much. He doesn't work. What does he do? He sells you drugs. That's about it. He sells pot for a living, I guess, now, and acts. What does he do? Capitalism is why he has millions of dollars. So, watch I know far about the horrors of capitalism. Yeah, it's supposed to be about the horrors of communism. Communism. You got it wrong, right? The answer was A, Hollywood. Answer was A, communism. All right, not B, not C for capitalism. I guess it'd be like D for communism. No, C for communism. D for capitalism. All right, the answer was C. All right, Hollywood got it wrong. It was not supposed to be about capitalism. It's about communism. We're looking for communism. It's C. Up, down, down says, "Hail, chat. Welcome back. Hello to you. Long time no see. Up, down, down. Hello to Limp Bizkit says, good morning, LD in chat. It's Monday again. The cycle begins anew in this clown world we inhabit. Hello to you, Limp Bizkit. Good morning. Good morning. Carly says, good morning, LD in Best Chat. Did you Smiling Friends stream? Yes, we did. I didn't get a notification. I did over there on Twitch, and I think we watched like 5 episodes. I think we watched quite a few because they're not very long. Yeah, like the stream would like almost like 3 episodes. The stream would end in like 45 minutes. So we went on. I think the last episode we watched was like this weird one about going to Brazil, which felt more like a thing that actually happened to them or something. That's what it felt like. Like they came to Brazil and they're all happy about it, and And they just improv their characters when they found out they didn't have a hotel. That's what it felt like. And they called their boss, and there wasn't like some weird twist or anything with the boss. It just called the boss, and the boss gave all the standard issue answers a guy like in that position would offer. Like, hey guys, what's going on? Oh, you can't get in a hotel, huh? Let me see. Let me see if I can help you out here. Wow, you really picked the wrong time to go. Yeah, we did. Oh man, I can't really help you. It's Mardi Gras. So bye, guys. Oh, bye. Thanks, boss. Like it was just so standard issue of how people would react to that situation. It felt so real that it almost felt like they were living through that, but maintaining character as that was happening. It was very interesting. Like nothing really happened in the episode, but it was very interesting on a relatability, reflection of life sort of episode. Very interesting stuff. And see, but I did make it public now. It should be over there on Twitch. We did a Yu-Gi-Oh GX stream on Friday, which should be fine because we're watching on YouTube. But probably the official YouTube channel of Yu-Gi-Oh put those out for free. So that sounds good to me. So we did that on Friday, Smiling Friends on Saturday, and then another Yu-Gi-Oh GX stream on Sunday. We got to the Shadow Duelist arc on Sunday. It's Revenar, hello to you. Good evening, Legendary Devil and Best Chat. After getting married, it's such hard to catch up with your stream. Now it's time to Morbin. Hello to you, Revenar. Hello to you. And congratulations, of course. So things are going fantastic. But welcome back, Revenar. Let me see here. Hello to you, Revenar. Good morning. Sketch XR says, good morning to you. Hello to you. And they wish you the 35 months of support. Says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Hello to you. Dr. Crow says, yo, LD started a new writing challenge. 1 8-page comic script a month. Sounds good. Fully done and ready to hand to an artist. Hoping by next year it can start releasing a comic every 6 weeks on Global Comics. That sounds pretty cool, Dr. Crow. That's a good goal. Like 8-page comic script every month sounds pretty good. It's a pretty reasonable goal because writing, you write it, got to rewrite it. Because 8 pages, that's really condensed. That is a short story, so it might take you a little work to get one done, and then or to get a script done and make it feel ready to go and feel like you completed the story with enough room to breathe. But yeah, that's a good goal. Like a whole month, like a month for an 8-page comic book script. Very good. I think that's a reasonable goal. Very good, Dr. Crow. Well done. Good luck on that. I hope you get it done. Cardi Ketchel says, "Good morning, Live Best Chat. The 4th is with us, just like common sense." Hello to you, Cardi Ketchel. Good morning. Sherman says, "Good morning. All free comic book giveaway day was meh." One store was almost out, and the other had a 3 comic limit, and 2 of choices were mediocre at best, hoping digital options get the missed ones. Hope so. Let's see, chat. Let's see. I got this. Make sure we got everything cool going on. Awesome. All right. Make sure we got everything ready to go. What's this? All right. I think I thought I had missed something. I thought I pulled something up, but I didn't. All right. What is this? What's going on? What is this? All right, we'll check this out for a little bit. All right, I found this other video someone suggested looks pretty funny. And then let's see. Got a couple more things here. All right. These are not Star Wars related. These 2 videos I just found that you suggested, they're not Star Wars related, but they do sound amusing. They do seem amusing. So check it out, chat. We'll see where it goes. Davina Duckworth says, good morning. Hello to Davina Duckworth. Hello to you, Abrazioni. Good Star Warsing. Hope so. Let's see here, chat. Boar Legion says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning to you, Boar Legion. Finonisha says, good morning, Best Chat and LD. Well, hello to you, Finonisha, and good morning to you. Remember to stay hydrated and stand against the evil. Of course, absolutely essential. It's Sage David God says, evil. Siege Garden says, the stories are being rewritten and the true message are being lost. WTF is his timeline. Yeah, they want to rewrite things so that it doesn't go after the precious communism. We need to have things go after evil capitalism. Let's see, chat. Let me see. All right. got this one up next. Fantastic. Connor Controls, Celestial Falcon says, "Good morning, LD and Best Chef. May the 4th be with you all, fellow Jedi. Hello to you, Celestial Falcon. Hello to you, Megathon. Another day, another circle back to Ray. All roads lead back to Ray. Patient zero, some might say." Vim says, "Good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning, good morning." Greg and says, "Good morning, Elizabeth and Best Chat. I have a video recommendation from Solid JJ called Supergirl Lore is Insane. I never knew her story. Might check that out. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. They got the C and ism parts right. I think so too. Let's see, chat. Yeah, the airport episode. That's what we watched. That's the one we ended on last time. Was the airport episode? We got just sitting in the Brazilian airport, for all that time, and they just go home. I think they just go home. Yeah, they just go home at the end. And I think I'm talking to the boss, and it kind of felt real, like they're just kind of just recording themselves because the waitress came in. There's like no twist on the waitress or anything like that. She doesn't give them any guff or she's just a waitress. She just acts like a waitress. So it's just there's no twists. There's no like weird story elements in there. It's just they go to Brazil. They didn't book a hotel. They stay at the airport for a few minutes and they go back home. That's just what happens. But it's so real that it makes it interesting. It's he says, "Wait, what did you stream on Sunday?" We Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. We did a few episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX on Sunday. And we did one where Crowler got stole all the rare cards, and then Jaden ended up beating Chaz anyway, and then we did the Shadow Duelist arc, which was kind of funny. Let's see, chat. Did we love that show? Yeah, Playing Friends is pretty good. Pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like with Salad Fingers without the horror. This in the way it kind of portrays the world, as this weird, disgusting dystopia. It's kind of very Salad Fingers like, I'd say. Lone Fences, praise be LD, but of course, Space King. But first, the video is brought to you by our sponsor, Southern Poverty Law Center. Absolutely. I got my check in this morning, Southern Poverty Law Center. Let's see. As Human says, a day is good, LD and Best Chat. Good morning to you, Post Human. Megathon says, I swear I hate Twitch. Never know when you're live there. I don't really give out a lot of stuff. They don't really get out a lot of notifications, it seems. Let's see, chat. Gorilla Mars says, I wasn't impressed with the comic selection of Free Comic Book Day. Yeah, they probably don't really. I mean, they're probably not really looking to give too many things out for free that are good. But they should. They should. You know why? Because this is how drug dealers operate, right? They give you the good stuff. They give you the good stuff for free. They give you the good stuff at a discount or something like that. They give you a little taste with the good stuff. That way you're addicted and you come back for more. That's what they should be doing, right? They got the wrong mindset. They should be giving out the best of their comics out for free. And then that'll get everyone else like, whoa, this was the one that was for free. Let me go check out the other ones. And then boom, they got some sales. And see, Aluminum Fence says, Wargacy. To you, Aluminum Fence. Good morning. Because the Christmas says, May the 4th makes me sad because it reminds me of how strong an IP Star Wars once was. Yeah, just like how the same way that Avatar Last Airbender was once also a strong IP. Until we got Korra. Until we got the Wokies got involved and started to mess around with someone else's IP and started to, it started to kick the whole thing off with, I'm the Avatar, you got to deal with it. Already knowing like 3 out of the 4 elements. Like the moment that happened, you knew where this was going. You knew this was going to be Mary Sue slop. All right, we knew a long time ago. It's terrible stuff. One, no Avatar does that. Not one. All right. Usually, as they said in the original show, no, the avatars don't usually know their avatars until they're 16. Right? They kind of let them know that they're avatars at 16. That way they can all have a normal childhood. And then once they do that, they have to go all the way around the world and then master all the other elements. And then here's Korra, like a little kid who bursts through the door, knowing 3 of them. Right? Just right off the bat, like, okay, here we go. Mary Sue Slop, because of course she's a woman, therefore she has to be super awesome from the get-go at childhood age. Insane. Norman Man, this is $10 super chat. Thank you much, Norman Man. Appreciate it. Are you a tourist or are you a tourist? This line from Smiling Friends work from modern fandom discussion. I mean, it's the same thing over there in Avatar, right? Like all I said was this. I said this truth. I said this truth nuke, which I didn't know was a truth nuke, but I was kind of just messing around to be honest with you. But I mean, it is nevertheless true. But I sent out this truth nuke, and apparently it was a truth nuke. So Paku and the Kyoshi warriors, like we don't train men. That's empowerment. We don't train women. Evil sexism. And people are like, well, they train Sokka. Yeah, after he debased himself, they didn't want to train Sokka, if you remember correctly. They don't want to train Sokka. They made him like, okay, you got to wear a traditional garb and basically humiliate and castrate yourself to us for your sexism, for the crimes of sexism, Sokka. But he happens to agree to all that and decides to learn Suki. Like he puts his pride away to learn Suki. And people are like, well, he ends up. So they, of course, they train guys. They let Sokka in. Yeah, but you forgot the circumstances. And also, if they train guys and the Kyoshi warriors are not a sexist group, then why didn't the other men in the Kyoshi warriors vouch for Sokka? Oh wait, there are no other men. There are no other men. Look, the Paku was he's like, you know what? Women are not supposed to fight in wars. That's the base of Paku's sexism. That we need to protect women and they shouldn't be fighting in wars. That's what made him evil. So we don't train women, evil sexism, right? Both of them had bow down to the authority of these particular groups. Okay. But everyone got really mad. They're all retarded. They're just getting like the barrage of retarded comments and responses. They just didn't think about it though. They just didn't. They didn't think about this is actually how it was portrayed. Sokka is the one in the wrong when it comes to the Kyoshi warriors, but Paku is the one in the wrong when it comes to the Southern Water Tribe. It's tradition that they only train women. Well, it's tradition that women don't fight and that they heal. Like, and then people were saying, "Oh, it's relegated to just being a healer." Just being a healer, there would be no Avatar without healers. All right, the Aang would be dead. He would have been killed by Azula had Katara not been a prodigy healer. Katara has done way more as a healer for the world than she has done as a fighter. So, Paku was right in the end. The reason why we need Katara to fight because like they're a small ragtag group. That's about it. I mean, they need Katara to fight. They do. But she's really, really the most effective as a healer. And Paku was right at the end. He's just a little angry that, Katara's grandmother rejected him a long time ago. But that was the real reason why he was so angry. All right. So thing is, they made the argument that, it's tradition that they don't train men, which apparently is okay. But it's tradition that women don't fight. Evil sexism. Not okay, apparently. Okay. So it's tradition. It's okay if it's tradition for women, but it's not okay if it's tradition that men do the fighting. All right. That makes no sense. Why is one sexist tradition okay, the other one is not? Huh? They didn't answer that. Let's see. Normal Man looks at $10 super chat. Additional $10 super chat. Thank you much, Normal Man. Appreciate it. Let me see. Where are we now? Where is it? Normal Man says, I'm willing to bet my house that the new Avatar show was soft selling anything Korra did to destroy the world. Yeah, it's probably going to be like men. So they're probably find a man to blame. It's going to be Aang's fault, right? They're going to still blame Aang because that's kind of where we are with the fandom, quote unquote. Not the real fandom, but like the crazy part of the fandom that claims to be fans. But that's where we are there. That they just hate Aang so much. Right, and that the whole franchise has gone woke because we're never going to get a male Avatar again. We're never going to get a male Avatar again because now it's just going to be a bunch of women avatars because now it's woke. It's woke now. So, although now we could say that the Avatar was at his best when a man is leading the way. They made that bed. Now they got to sleep in it. But yeah, we're never going to get a male Avatar again because it's all going to be women from here on out, whatever they make. And of course, the next one is going to be like this 10-year-old kid or something like that with a missing leg. Like the whole thing was unique with Aang because of the war. that Sozin was going to do, and so that's why they told Aang early. Otherwise, it wasn't. It's not supposed to be until he's 16. So how come all the women are like so awesome that they can just be these epic avatars at like what? How old was Korra? Like 5? It's just they're women, and so therefore they have all this power and knowledge, and Aang's just an idiot. They hate Aang the same way they hate Luke Skywalker for stealing all the credit. And see, hold on, chat. Hold on, what is this? And smiling friends. Yes, there we go, chat. All right. So speaking of which, let's get get down to business here, chat. So $100 for Pillarman by the end of the stream, and $400 all the way together by the end of Friday for more Smiling Friends. And last time we did it, we did 5 episodes of Smiling Friends. Pretty funny stuff, pretty good stuff, pretty good show so far. And see, chat. Megathon. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Thank you much. Appreciate it. Megathon. Where are we now? Yes. Megathon says, BRB need to make a phone call. Sokka is the man's man. The stare down of worship with the boomerang man. Yeah, he's the most masculine guy in the show. He is a little bit sexist, but I mean, he's a kind of bad kind of sexist, where he kind of closes his mind. All right, a man should be a good kind of sexist. And that's where Sokka went wrong. All right, it should be like Paku. Paku is based. He's got some good sexism going on. Women shouldn't fight. They need to be protected. They need to stay behind and be healers, because that is equally as important as men going off to fight. And I didn't see any men in that healing group there. So it's not like women can't fight but men can be healers. No, it's like women are healers and men can fight. I'm betting that if some dude wanted to start healing people, like, no, you're a dude. You go fight, right? Also, let me go ahead and pose this scenario. What if we got to the Kyoshi Warriors? What if Kyoshi was a man, right? But he was like a kabuki kind of man. I don't know. He had a certain style. Still wore the makeup. Still did all that stuff. No, like it's like some anime guys will dress up in weird, crazy makeup, but was a badass warrior, right? And it was the Kyoshi Warriors were all men, and then Katara was like, "Oh, I want to join these guys. It sounds pretty cool." And then they're like, "No, what? A woman joined the group? Hell no." And then they had Katara. We think they would have Katara say, "Oh, I'm sorry for my sexism." Right? Men can't be warriors. You think they would have Katara, bow down to their traditions and like dress up as them and stuff, and they would like that. Like the fans would like that. The same fans, the fans would like that. I'm not really sure if they would. In that episode, if they said Katara can be part of us, it would be Katara in the right and the group in the wrong. But because Sokka is a man and he's trying to join a group of women, he's in the wrong and has to debase himself to get in there. Because of course they can't be in the right. They can't be in the wrong, right? They can't be in the wrong. Sokka is the one in the wrong. And the way it's set up is that Sokka debases himself, but proves Suki wrong in the end with her assessment of him. Sort of. She was right. She was right at the beginning. It's just that Sokka changed and put his pride aside in order to gain more power and to train. But Sokka was the one that needed to change here. Suki, not so much. Other than now she likes Sokka. That's about it. But yeah, Sokka was the one that was in the wrong in this episode, at least portrayed as such, where Paku was clearly portrayed as in the wrong in their episode. So, one tradition wrong, the other tradition good, apparently. And see your chat. They're going to be gods. They hate Aang because they know Korra sucks and that she caused all of her own problems. Aang would have died if he stayed the Earth time. He would have, and they put in a lot of stuff on the shoulders of a 12-year-old kid. Like, oh, he's responsible for the genocide of his people. He's responsible for the war. Like, he's not responsible for any of that. You know who is responsible? Sozin. Sozin is responsible for all of that, not Aang. All right. Isn't that the same thing? The same assertion that the modern day soy boys and art bros push for, like, who are the real bad guys? Oh, the superheroes. The superheroes are no, the criminals are real bad guys. They want so hard for the superheroes to be the actual bad guys, that because they do wrong, or they're imperfect, because they make things so extreme, because they punish bad guys too harshly by stopping their crimes, that the bad guys then escalate, and that therefore the good guys are in the wrong and they should just go away, as opposed to how about we help the superheroes take down the villains. I'm pretty sure the villains are the bad guys. Pretty sure the guys doing crimes are the bad guys. It's a Norman Man thinks $10 super chats. Aang being a bad dad was awful character assassination. Yeah, he should be a good dad. Like Aang would be a very compassionate dad, because Aang, what makes it usually one of those guys that becomes a bad dad is a guy that's obsessed with like his job. Right? He's too too closed off. Like Zuko might be more in the bad dad area. I'm not sure if he would be, but he would be more in the area of bad dad as in terms of being emotionally closed off. Aang, no way. Aang is like that. There's no way. But they made him that way because, of course, they did, because they hated Aang way back then. They could have made it that his other kids were trained in airbending but weren't interested in it and went off on their own direction. Yeah. But no. They had to make Aang a terrible dad. They had to make Aang a bad dad because they hate their own dads, and that's about it. And they hate Aang for being the real Avatar, and Korra, and for overshadowing Korra. Let's see. All right, chat. Here we go. Right now, it's showing adjacent. It's supposed to be a male main character. Like it really was like a guy show. It really was. It was supposed to be. It really was a guy show. They went with Korra and they started doing more with relationships and everything. Now, while that was a strong part of the original Avatar: The Airbender show, the main part was about fighting an evil emperor. That was basically it. It was about a war and fighting an evil emperor. Right? Korra came in and it was immediately about social issues and stuff like that, which is exactly what women want to see. And I couldn't care less about the Benders versus. I thought that was retarded. Like that was. Like we get this cool epic quest with Ozai and the Fire Nation, and then Korra comes along and it's about social issues.
What? I'm not oppressing anyone. You're oppressing yourself.
I didn't want to see cities and social issues. Now, if it's about like Korra fight, it was like the Avatar equivalent of like what was it? Prohibition era, and they're trying to take down like a Avatar's Airbender, or the Avatar's version of what's his name? Scarface. That's like Stallone. It's not it. Al Capone. It's another Italian name. Al Capone. Like they're fighting the mob, and he's just crazy. He has all these connections, everything. There's twists and turns. Where turns out Korra's allies that she thought were close to her are actually, on the side of the mob. That'd be kind of crazy, right? That's like that's right up the. But no, it has to be about oppressors and oppressed. Okay, social issues. All right, here we go. And sucked. All right, we don't need social issues. It's a man's story. Let it be a man's conflict. Have the next Avatar. If it has to be Republic City and everything, and everything's got to be all united and crap. Everyone's got to be kumbaya. Well, then have the problems in that big city be, mobsters and stuff. Have the Avatar be the leader of the new Untouchables. That'd be kind of cool. Al Pacino, Tony Montana. That'd be good. Like, what if like Scarface came in? Yeah. Well, the thing is, Tony Montana is, he's a Cuban version of Scarface, but the nickname of Scarface was attributed to Al Capone. I forgot. I think he got in a street fight or something. Let's see. Yeah, say hello to my little friend. I love that movie. That was a good movie. I watched it when I was a kid. I watched a lot of these gangster movies when I was a kid. Normal Man, thanks for the additional $10 super chat. Thank you much. Normal Man, thank you very much. Very generous indeed, Normal Man. Thank you very much. Core setting sucks and breaks many parts of the world, but it does. It not only does it break many parts of the world building, it makes cool things boring. You really don't want to do that. The follow-up series, you don't want to take lightning from being this religious aspect, almost like this spiritually blank power that only a few people can summon, that only Azula really could summon and Iroh could really use. that Zuko could never master, and then make it a factory worker job. It's like, come on. However, that is a more like a modern-esque thing to make things that are spectacular and turn them into mundane things. And the writer, whenever they do that in the current era, thinks that they're really smart. It's like the writer mentality. What if this awesome magic was just like a factory job? Like, that's kind of what they think, that it's a smart thing to do, to make something awesome into something mundane. Now the British can do it, but they know it's retarded. Like, they know it's funny. Like, every single time I've seen a British guy do it, like Neil Gaiman or something like that, or Terry Pratchett, it's they know it's dumb that this fantastical thing is also like made mundane, and they point it out. Like, it's done with a straight-faced irony. It's pretty funny stuff. Like, usually that's how it goes. When one of these like soy boy modernists come in and do it, it's just like, oh, look, see, it's boring now. Ha 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 ha. Aren't I clever? That's their mentality. The non-bender plot made no sense when there is a downside to being a non-bender in ATLA. Yeah. Yeah, there was never a thing about benders versus non-benders. There was like never like some elitism or anything like that. You could do more when you're a bender because there was more options available to you, but it wasn't like you weren't allowed to live, or you were considered a second-class citizen as a non-bender ever. It's just you were a non-bender. That's kind of what was the case. And so the whole thing with the non-benders versus benders thing came out of nowhere, and it was just like, it seemed just a way to force a social issue into the world of Avatar to make it more like women-centric and not male-centric. And see. All right. Thank you much for being a non-bender in ATLA. Hello to you. Thank you very much, normal man. Appreciate it. Giovanni. Hello to you. Yesha. Arc 5 says you could do it, but then you would have to make a big point about how much of a degradation is to power in those who have it. Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. There is a way to do all these things, but the way that the modernists have done it, like the modern day writers who kind of just fool themselves, they do it in the most two-dimensional way, like really mundane way, and then they think they want to parade for it. That's kind of it. It really is the childish mentality of Rian Johnson. That's kind of the philosophy that has run rampant in our entertainment arena. The mentality of Rian Johnson, as said in Glass Onion, is there is no creativity behind what they do. It's just all about destroying what has been there, destroying tradition, destroying what has always been, and then with the main goal of being destroying what no one wants you to destroy. That's it. It is a mentality of destruction, not creation. Ghost says, for thousands of years, the Benders reigned supreme. One day, Glock appeared. Everything changed. That'd be kind of funny. See, that'd be kind of interesting. Like if the Avatar kind of refused bending and became a master of this martial combat, that'd be kind of interesting. And then every single time the Avatar would use bending, it would be like a defeat for him. Like, okay, I was forced into my bending, and then the conflict is you have to learn how to do both. Be a powerful martial artist, and then also embrace your bending. You can't just cut off part of yourself. That'd be kind of an interesting internal conflict, and it would instantly spark a character arc, because you can kind of see where he's coming from. Kind of the senshi thing, like I don't want to use magic, just that you'll lose your senses. So this kind of like that, right? It's kind of like the senshi mentality, and then he has to learn to like embrace both sides of him, the side that wants to only use martial arts, and the side that wants to use bending, or that should use bending. It's says Azula, if she lived through the comics, would have been. Wait, did she die? Did she die in the comics? A bad mother, spirits, and Iroh said you can't fix crazy. I think have you ever seen the last season of Samurai Jack? I think she would have been like that. Like the mother, the lady that raised the sisters that would have killed, that were raised to kill Samurai Jack. I think she would have been like that. Oddly enough, they're voiced by the same character. They're voiced by the same voice actors. Grey Liesel. They both voice. She voices both Azula and the lady that raises the girls to go kill Samurai Jack. So I think that's a good connection there already. All right. Let's see, chat. All right. Norman Man, additional $20 super chat. Very generous today, Norman Man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Norman Man. Where are we now? Where is this? I want to give you the correct clip here. Holy shit. The construction of the Avatar cycle is like destroying the Force in Star Wars. It really is. Removing one of the most unique and interesting things about Avatar is one of the reasons why it has taken so long to get a new Avatar. Probably. I mean, why would you do that? It really is a destructive force. You're breaking the one big thing. It's the Rian Johnson mentality. Rian Johnson wanted to destroy the Jedi. Korra wanted to destroy the Avatar. Why? I have no idea. It's really, the reasoning is Rian Johnson's reasoning, which is just destruction for destruction's sake. Like destroying something the same way some of these YouTubers will just destroy an Xbox. I destroy an Xbox with a hammer. It's because it's interesting to see someone destroy something so precious. And it does give you some attention, but overall, it's not that great. It's not that great at all. It's only interesting for the moment, and they're like, "Whoa, you destroyed that thing. That was really expensive." That's about it, though. That's the Rian Johnson mentality. Destroy something that's precious, and then you'll get a lot of attention and you'll rise fast. But it's not really a sustainable thing. It's not really full of substance because you just did it for destruction's sake without a creative vision to back it up. It is one reason why it has taken so long for the new Avatar. Yeah, I probably should have left it alone at this point. It's going to be DI Avatar, which I also learned. Apparently, people think this means DI just means not white. It's not. Doesn't mean that. All right, it means they said they make Charlie Kirk out to be a racist for the same reason, because when he said that I don't really trust a minority or a woman in a position anymore. It's not because he's racist or sexist. It's because he distrusts the system now, because the system is focused on getting women and minorities in certain positions without the qualifications. That's why. It's kind of why we have it's a meme now that we have DI hire, DI artist. They're not there because they're good. They're there because they're a minority or a woman or something. They're there for other reasons other than their skill level or their qualifications. So, that's how it goes. That's why you don't trust the system. You don't trust the system anymore. And that's kind of where the whole thing is where it all is. This trust comes from is that the system has declared that our goals are X, when they should be Y. And so because you don't trust the system on X, you only trust Y. And that's why indies have rushed to the top here, because indies don't really have these a lot of the times they don't really have these intentions or these goals, right? The indies are just trying to make the best thing possible, and that's why they're so interesting. Okay, they offer you why. All right, if an indie rises to the top, it's because people like them, because they're good at what they do, as opposed to, okay, we're going to hire this lady to write Marvel comics because she has the same hair as Riri Williams and is also looks like Riri Williams, not because she's good, which actually happened. They hired a writer based on her skin color and her haircut, as opposed to how good she is. But that's kind of why you don't really trust it anymore. Let's see. Rasmus7 says, you can bet the same people who love to destroy and subvert things really hate it when things they like are destroyed and subverted. They really do. They really do. They do. No, not we're supposed to destroy and subvert things, not you. It's kind of how it goes, though. Kind of how it goes. Anyway, chat. Anyway. Thank you very much, everyone. All right. Janine Schultz, good morning. The Roman says, Korra has really got me going. The brain dead conversation on X, especially. So, yeah, it's just all these Korra supporters. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing? No, Korra is the best Avatar ever. Like, no, she's not. You're just pretending she is. The only reason why Korra has any support at all, I'm pretty sure, is because Korra is a girl. That's it. There's no other reason. At least it's a big chunk of it. Let's see. Anyway, chat. Anyway, let's get down to business. We're gonna watch this goodie, oldie but goodie. It's not that old. It's maybe like a year old, I think. All right, YouTube, start working with me. It's 2 years old. Wow, it's been 2 years since this thing came out. All right. Come on. Back it up. All right, we're not gonna watch this whole thing, but I think it's a goodie and an oldie at this point. and it's pretty interesting. It makes some pretty interesting points. It's Star Wars cannot grow up by Mauler. I know we've went over this before, but it's probably a long time ago, and this is perfect video to watch on current year May the 4th, because current year May the 4th goes over a lot of things. You know, we've experienced a lot of modern day Star Wars, you know, and current year May the 4th is where we kind of reflect on what happened to this once great franchise. And this video by Mahler kind of hits home a lot of the problems. Not, you know, on the surface level, it's like, oh, I hate this scene, or I hate how this character is portrayed. But the underlying problem that it is affecting every single thing Disney makes that is Star Wars. Check it out.
Season 5, Episode 9 of Futurama is called The Sting. In it, we see the Planet Express crew being presented with a difficult mission, one that they surely cannot accomplish.
Bad news, everyone! You're not good enough to go on your next mission.
Hooray!
Not good enough!
Why? Says who?
Farnsworth explains that the previous crew died on this mission and that it's simply far too dangerous. This is good news to Bender and Fry, but not to Leela.
We are just as good as any of those other crews you sent to their deaths.
But Leela, we're no good.
I'm scared too, but I'm more scared of disappointing myself.
I'm not scared of...
By the way, chat, we're already halfway to Pillarman. Halfway there, chat, for the day. Thank you much, everyone. Very generous stuff. Thank you very much.
that at all.
The mission is to collect honey from a colony of space bees, and at first it seems they are successful despite the difficulty they face.
We got lucky this time, but you should be more careful. I don't want anything to happen to you.
Thanks, but I can look out for myself.
Unfortunately, a captured queen bee wakes up at...
Let's see. Ghost says a lot of modern writers on these shows, the blue hairs, would have a show where their chairs, this character sits in a coffee shop talking about stuff rather than doing it. Yeah, because you know that's where women tend to like that stuff more, where it's about, you know, social issues, social conflicts, and emotional conflicts, which is not bad at all. It's kind of what gives shows like Freerun its power and movies like The Labyrinth its power. It's not really about fighting a guy or overcoming enemies. It's about growing socially, or experiencing social conflict and growing emotionally. That's what women like to see, and there's nothing wrong with that specifically. But it's when feminists get involved where they make it very hostile, right? They do what they did with Star Wars and Korra, where they kind of steal a man's, you know, a male-centric show and make it more female-centric by adding in more social issues, by changing it. So what the big issue is, though, is that essentially they go in there buying a burger shop that has been around for a while, and someone else built it up on selling burgers. And they're like, oh, you know what's I know about this burger shop, but I don't like burgers. Burgers are icky. We're going to sell hot dogs instead. All right. And we're going to sell hot dogs without meat. All right, it's kind of how it goes. And then people are like, wait a minute, but I like hot dogs, but I like hot dogs, first of all, that with meat, you know, made out of beef or whatever. But also I came here for a burger. Like, well, that's just sexist. All right, you can't, that's bigot stuff. Why would you can't come here and demand a burger which is not made for you, right? Maybe this restaurant is not made for you, okay? But then you tell that to your entire customer base that helped build the restaurant in the first place, and then they all go away. That's kind of the scenario that keeps on happening over and over and over again. It's just time and time again. But yeah, so women they like social conflict. So this is the power of Freerun. It's kind of why in Freerun, which I have a video, I'm working on a video. It's where I was late this morning, but I'm doing a lot of editing. But yeah, it's the powerhouse behind Freerun. It was made by women. It's a very womanly story, actually, to the point where the action, like the action scenes, are not really as interesting as like the cozy explore your past and emotion scenes, because it's that the whole goal is not about that. The main goal of Freerun is about understanding people and learning to overcome her greatest flaw. It's very interesting still. Right, it's very interesting still, but it's not about fighting. It's kind of why when they fight the demons and everything, it's why a lot of battles in Freerun are just kind of like one page. Like in the manga, a lot of the battles we see are like 1 or 2 pages. And so, you know, they fight the guy that made Zoltrak, or they fight that demon sage guy, and the battle only lasts like a minute or so. like the battle starts, and then he's trying to fight Fern, but Frieren is flying up in the air and fires Zoltrak on him, and then boom, it's over. So the whole centric part of Frieren is not about battle; it's about growing emotionally. So that's how that goes. All right, that's how that goes. And that's kind of that's a womanly thing. It's a womanly focus. It's what women tend to like. But thing is, this is like how women can like Star Wars as is, as at its most masculine and most boyish. Men can like Frieren, and obviously they do, and because Frieren's a good story. Like there's nothing beats a good story. Like it doesn't matter if it's more male centric or more female centric. If it is a good story, it is universal. And I've always said this: a good story is universal. A good story is universal. It's as Smith, I don't know. Fern and Frieren versus Clone Frieren was pretty awesome, and their battles are pretty awesome. But I do know that the main thing is that the animators really went to town on that show and did a really good job. The battles are really cool in Frieren, but the main focus is not the battles. It's kind of like we have battles in Frieren, but they're not really the same as the battles of Dragon Ball Z. That's not really the same. Like the whole mage test where they do it to fight Clone Frieren is more about relationships you make along the lines of the other people and working together, things like that. It's really about exploring Frieren's combat flaws and things. It is a really cool battle. Every single battle in Frieren is awesome, as far as I've seen. Like it's really cool. But the main narrative is not around fighting various villains. The main narrative surrounds Frieren finding who she is, like discovering the value of time and overcoming her greatest flaw. And see chat. The men love the old autistic elf lady. She's funny. Yeah, it's really fun. Like I always said, a good story is universal. It can be more woman centric, but men will like it if it's still a good story. It's kind of how it goes.
And attacks them.
You're gonna have to go through me!
He's dead.
The episode takes a turn as Fry, arguably the most important.
And see, we'll say in 10 years, if Korra was a man, she'd be called a sexist womanizer for half. Yeah, she probably would. Because if you imagine a man, imagine if Korra was a man and she goes in there and she makes friends with I think Bolin and the other guy are brothers, right? I think they're brothers. Or are they friends? I forgot. It's been a long time since I've seen the series. But she makes friends with these two guys, right? And then one of them has if he's a man, then it gets him with two girls. They're sisters. And then one of them clearly has a crush on him. And then she goes out with the other one. And then also kisses the brother. And then one of them gets a handsome rich boyfriend. And then not only does the main character, does he become like a problem in the relationship because she clearly likes him still, like the friend clearly likes the main character still, but then the guy causes them to break up, and then he dates the handsome rich guy. I'm pretty sure, like if there was a man who kind of dated every person in his group, they would not like that. They would say that he is a sexist womanizer. Even if he was apparently bisexual. Anyway, chat. Anyway, they have much. Spain, appreciate it.
Character of the series dies to save Leela. We see a funeral, references to the beginning of the series, his past loves, and strong sentiments shared by each of the characters. Leela, struggling to deal with her grief, decides to eat space honey, falls asleep, and dreams about Fry. He says he can prove he's real by telling her where he hid a gift for her before the mission.
There's just one thing I want you to do.
What?
I want you to wake up.
Wake up? But I'm not.
In her next dream, Fry takes her dancing in a Venusian garden and drinks hot chocolate with her on Hyperion.
Here, take my jacket. You look a little cold.
Thank you.
Leela talks about how this has to be real because she would never take such good care of herself in her own dreams. So there has to be a way to convince everyone else this is real.
All you have to do is wake up.
No, don't say that. This is real.
The story starts to get a bit more complicated because Leela wakes up with Fry's jacket, the one he was buried with. When she presents this to the crew, she sees it's actually her jacket.
Everything's going to be all right, Leela.
What?
Leela begins to lose her mind, and she lets everyone know she's been taking space honey, which explains her behavior. 1 spoonful calms you down, 2 helps you sleep.
This is a really good episode. It's very trippy, too.
3 will take you to a sleep you will never wake up from. And so she takes 2, only to accidentally hit the royal jelly jar, spilling it onto the couch, which brings Fry back to life. You see the DNA from the couch combined with the DNA from when he fell in the jelly. He's back. He's safe. Everything is fine.
Neat.
Leela lets him know that she's glad he's back, he's not dead, and she wasn't responsible for his death, and that everything is fine.
You have to wait.
And that is something that would happen in Futurama, so it kind of makes sense. Like the other Fry is dead, but this Fry came back to life as a clone, and then the next episode would dawn on us, and it would never be mentioned again, right? Unless it comes back into play. But usually it's like, okay, well, this is the Fry. Well, Fry's back now. You don't have to worry about the Fry we buried. This Fry is back now.
Wake up.
Wake up? Oh no! No!
Leela begins to crack up, seeing the crew sing "Don't Worry, Be Happy" while gradually all blowing up as a result of bee stings until coming to terms with losing her mind. She ultimately decides to open Fry's coffin to make sure he's still there. Only things get even more difficult for her to understand, and she wakes up again. So she decides her mind is falling apart, but that she's sane enough to know that, and she does indeed choose to eat the honey. 3 spoonfuls.
Awesome 142 says, yeah, this is like multiple Rick and Mortys. The Counselor Rick's Morty. It's a Counselor Rick's, but I'm the Rickiest Rick.
Sleep forever to be with Fry, since he is alive in her dreams and she doesn't have to deal with him being gone. Only at the last moment, Fry reaches out and tells her she has to fight.
What am I supposed to do?
Fight it.
I can't!
You can. The Leela I know doesn't give up this easily.
Leela is losing her grip on reality. She lost her closest friend because she endangered the crew on a mission that she only wanted to complete to prove she was better. Her ego and vanity caused so much damage, she's contemplating a solution that can let her dream about a world where that isn't the case. And Fry...
I'm so scared, Fry! I don't know what to do!
Just wake up, Leela. Please, just wake up.
As Fry continuously asks Leela to wake up throughout the episode, we eventually hear him breaking down as he says it behind the sound of hospital beeping. Leela wakes up.
Fry!
For the final time. It is kind of interesting saying that the jelly or the whatever it's called, the honey is where the honey, it's so pleasurable to Leela to be asleep, to be with Fry, to just have all kinds of fun in her dreams and everything, and then to choose. She wants to choose actively in her dream to eat the honey, which means she's giving up in real life and dying. Essentially, like the third spoonful of honey would be her death because she wanted to remain asleep forever. It's very interesting. That's kind of why I say that Futurama is such a really fun and actually smart show with smart topics and interesting perspectives and insight, but wrapped up in a comedy show. Hamilton Burger says there's differences that Rick and Morty would be very in your face about it, while Futurama handles it with more organically. Yeah. And not only that, Rick and Morty probably just point out to you, like, here it is, Morty, the part where you wake up for the final time, Morty, and learn a lesson. That he would say that at the end, right? They would just point out because the modern day writing prospect is pointing out tropes is funny. That's kind of what it is. Pointing out tropes is like the new thing to do instead of being subtle about it. So that's why in I think Black Widow and Deadpool and everything that they just outright talk about the superhero landing. Because pointing out tropes is the way to go now. And yeah, Rick and Morty, if they did a show like episode like this, they would definitely point out all the tropes that they're using. It's like that one episode of Futurama Morty where Leela falls asleep. What Rick? Futurama? What? You got to watch better shows, Morty. You got to stop watching this crap. All right, watch Futurama now. All right, it's a good show. It's fantastic. That's how the episode would end, probably, is them arguing about watching Futurama as a quality show.
You're alive.
After pointing out the tropes, of course.
Leela, You're awake! The ambulance took you here right after the bee stung you. The stinger went right through me and you got all the poison.
It turns out Leela's decision to prove she could handle this mission almost killed her. The guilt over the damage she assumed it caused a crew member almost brought her to suicide. In reality, the damage she had done was to herself, and she needed to come to terms with that before realizing that any dream world where everything is perfect and you only made the correct decisions is a dead end. It's a nonsense fairy tale, and fighting to get back to reality is what matters. To get back to those you love and who love you. Everything in the episode is now recontextualized as Leela's point of view on the characters instead of them being themselves. On top of that, you see absurd realities of the world being treated as normal, like the stinger being left in Fry's corpse, or Bender immediately selling Fry's possessions, or the professor chopping someone's head off to analyze it. It's not that these things wouldn't happen, it's that this is what Leela would expect to simply be the case in her world, and as the episode continues, we get more and more abstract representations of her mental state. The episode sheds light on Fry's commitment to Leela, giving us clues that he did indeed put his jacket on her because she was cold, he did get her the gift, and his speaking to her is very likely what managed to bring her back, to pull her from the brink.
Maybe if you heard a familiar voice, it might help keep your mind together. But who knows if it really got through.
It got through, Fry. It got through.
Ultimately, it told us what Leela felt about her own actions, what her role is within Planet Express. It showed us how she felt about Fry. It showed us what she loved about Fry, what he acts as, and
It's like the anime Mortal Wounds just a scratch. In like Mortal Kombat too, where you can just get your head snapped into and then you brush yourself off and you find it for round 2.
her life. It told us the effect she believes Fry's death would have on the world, and it told us that she blamed herself for everything. Her hubris, her pride, drove the crew to suffer, leading to a final decision to sleep forever. Only she realizes that the pieces of Fry she had left, that she's trying to bring him back with, that she's willing to die for, are the few pieces he's using to get through to her on her actual deathbed, to bring her back to the living. His voice guides her back to the real world, and he gave up every second to make sure she was okay. Leela spent the episode believing she had killed Fry, only as it turns out he was the only person preventing her overwhelming pride and guilt from keeping her in this coma forever. It's bloody brilliant. In season 5,
now, but here we go.
Episode 21 of Buffy.
Oh, we talk about Buffy this time around. I've not seen Buffy, at least not all the way. I tried watching it; it really didn't snap with me there all that much. So people like, for example, people kind of like compare when I talk about Lady Midnight. Oh, it's like kind of like Buffy. I guess so. It's not really insulting to me or anything like that, because it does make sense. But really, the one that the show that probably makes the most sense to me, the best connection will probably be La Femme Nikita. The not the movie, but the show, because I even modeled Lady Midnight after Peta Wilson, who's the main character, who's the main actress in La Femme Nikita, playing Nikita. And you know, Michael was reformed into Dark Hood and stuff like that. So, but Buffy seems pretty cool. I guess it was interesting. I guess I didn't really continue watching it. I probably should. But it didn't catch my attention so much that I needed to start. I needed to keep watching it. But I'll go back to it eventually. But it is interesting. It is an interesting show.
The Vampire Slayer, The Weight of the World.
I got a few episodes in. I think I got a couple episodes in. They're kind of like she saves her friends from some vampires. I think Angel was introduced. I got a few episodes in.
Buffy has spent the entire season fleeing a god. She's been protecting her sister from this thing that wants nothing less than to kill her, leave this dimension, and leave the apocalypse in her wake. In the prior episode, at the end of her rope, Buffy loses Dawn. The team is crippled, low on resources. It's a simple matter of time before Glory will kill Dawn and Buffy will lose everything. Instead of her usual reaction to create a new plan, to act fast, to give a speech about this new evil being defeated once and for all, she stops, she sinks, and she is frozen as the episode closes out.
Buffy, please! Buffy!
We discover in The Weight of the World that Buffy has entered a catatonic state. The pressure of every event during this season has absolutely destroyed her. At least that's the obvious interpretation one would have, considering all that's happened.
Losing Dawn after all that Buffy's been through.
I think it's pushed her too far into some sort of catatonia.
Willow, the witch in the team, decides to enter Buffy's mind to get her back. Upon entry,
does Willow start off as a witch? I feel like she wasn't anyone special until later. Does Willow start off as a witch? Because the episodes I saw was like she's just kind of awkward. Does she become one, or is it kind of like we discover later that she has always been one?
Willow sees, as we do, that Buffy is in her childhood home.
Lamar says Buffy season 1 is pretty rough, but the series overall is pretty good. Okay, well, I was thinking about going back to it.
Converted back safely and comfortably to a child.
Hi, Willow.
Hello, Buffy.
Willow opens with explaining how much Buffy is needed, how much she needs to come back. But Buffy is reliving memories, and one that we see.
Okay, she does start off as like a nerdy girl. She becomes a witch later. Okay, that makes sense.
Is that of meeting her sister for the first time. We then see a visual of Buffy placing a book on a shelf. Strange, but whatever. Willow then witnesses, through Buffy's memory, her discussion with the first Slayer, the one who told Buffy,
Death is your gift.
Death is what the life of a Slayer brings. Death surrounds her. And again, we see that visual. Then Willow follows Buffy into Dawn's room and she kills her. Buffy is convinced that death is all she is. This is unsurprising after another significant event in the season.
Death
Is your gift.
Upon that notion, we backslide again to Buffy as a child, visiting Dawn for the first time. She's looping on specific memories, that of meeting Dawn, learning the Slayer legacy, and killing Dawn. Only there's that one extra visual. Willow then starts to get a bit more desperate.
This never happened. You never killed your sister. None of this is real. You're stuck in some kind of loop.
Buffy seems to be stuck in what could even be called a simple loop. She thinks she killed Dawn, or that her failure led to Dawn's death, meaning she may as well have killed her, and that's all she's good for. But there's that one memory that...
Wait a minute. Is she the one that plays Willow? Is she from How I Met Your Mother? Is that Lily from How I Met Your Mother? Because she seems and sounds like Lily from How I Met Your Mother.
That doesn't quite fit.
This. Right here. It happened.
I wonder if Buffy fans see that as a betrayal because she went off to become a really straight woman. Yeah, another famous show. Although, for the actress, man, what a run of good luck. She was part of Buffy and part of How I Met Your Mother, like two sensational shows that went off to become legends. Legendary.
I know it's something small, but it's something.
Buffy explains this is the place she fears the most, the cause of everything.
She's also the American Pie girl, right? To the band camp lady, right?
This is when Buffy quit. Just for a second. She was putting a book back for Giles and it hit her. She can't win. Glory will win and Dawn will die. Buffy didn't just know it, she felt it. She wanted it all to end.
When Dawn dies, I would grieve, but it would be over. I imagined what a relief it would be.
Buffy believes that even having those thoughts led to her failure to protect Dawn, and that means it's over. It will always be over.
Snap out of it!
What? All this, it has a name. It's called guilt.
Willow explains it's entirely normal to want a break, to want out of this life for even a second to release the weight of the world, but the fact is...
It's not guilt. Look, I learned from Silent Hill 2 that guilt looks like Pyramid Head, and it's way cooler than this. Right?
Dawn isn't dead, and for every second Buffy chooses to give up, she will make Dawn's death a reality. She has a choice to make, and she must make it now. Willow reaches her, and Buffy is ready to lead. This episode deftly guides you through a rather layered and complex bit of trauma, with visual metaphors and dialogue being blended out of time and space, while Willow acts as the only anchor to the real world. Buffy begins by hiding in her very own childhood memories, metaphorically removing herself from the weight of all responsibility, at the same time enjoying the moment Dawn entered her life. She's clearly consumed by what the first Slayer told her, that death surrounds the Slayer. It is her legacy, her gift. She is being crushed by the weight of these events. The realization, however, is Dawn's death is what took her over the edge. Only, as Willow highlights, Dawn is not dead. Dawn is alive, and she's waiting to be rescued just like always. The one thing that would ensure her death is to give up. Buffy is realizing that she killed Dawn the second she didn't want to protect her anymore, even for a second. She then believes she's lost, not because she failed a particular battle, but because she doesn't have the drive to win anymore. Buffy gave up. Whether true or not, whether reasonable or not, she thought it, she believed it, and that destroyed her. Buffy killed Dawn because she no longer believed in the fight. And so Willow, being the grounded, forceful spirit in Buffy's life, tells her exactly what she needs to hear. She takes her out of this waking nightmare, and together they build the strength back up to take glory on, once and for all. Buffy spends the episode believing she killed Dawn, and that this is her hell as a result, to wallow in the realization that she's nothing more than death, only to understand through a trusted friend that it's self-fulfilling. The loss is only so for as long as you don't change it. Making a difference is standing up and fighting. It's bloody brilliant. Ahsoka has been airing recently. The first 4 episodes were a cluster.
All right, there we go, chat. All right, time to got to the Star Wars part. Let's go. So yeah, according to this, like Ahsoka, I mean, I tried watching this one too. It's just, it kind of feels like it was written by people who don't really know Star Wars, but like if like the remember, okay, so you know how there's a Weeb Day, you know, Weeb people, the Weebians. They all complain about those tourists that came in during COVID, and they just complain about the surface level crap, and they have like these surface level opinions about pretty much everything they say. That's kind of what it feels like. That's kind of what it feels like with these writers. Like the writers who are now writing current day Star Wars are just like these people who are like, you know what? I'm claiming to be a Star Wars fan, but I really don't like it, so I want to change everything about it. They have like these surface level views of Star Wars, and that's about it. And that's what it feels like. They don't really care about the franchise. They just want to get into like that's why I feel so much like fan fiction. It does. Like everything they do feels like fan fiction, and it kind of just feels like people who just want to write in a popular franchise but don't really know anything about the franchise or how to write.
The fuck of abysmal writing, with the primary disaster being a complete lack of anything close to effective characterization for the main cast. I struggle to know just who the fuck any of these cardboard cutouts are or why I should care, and that's from the parts of the show where something happens, a whopping 5%. It doesn't help that the actresses playing this collection of corrugated statues on wheels feel the need to resist emoting as though the survival of Disney.
LD says, Ghost says, LD, give Star Wars a watch. The Star Wars be kind of fun. I think it'd be pretty fun stuff. 1 second here, chat.
Disney's stock prices depend on it. But here we are, the episode where Ahsoka is lost in the world between worlds. A convergence of events looking to intertwine all aspects of the Force, her history, and the relationships both past and present. All of this because the only character I give a fuck about...
The Monday writers don't really know how to write a good story on its own. They have to write with the meta in mind, because it's kind of what... I think it's what social media has done to us. I think it's kind of what happened to modern day writers. And the thing is, with even with dialogue, I always call it Twitter dialogue. Right? It's not really about delivering dialogue with substance. It's about delivering dialogue as sassy and as quippy as possible. So you'll get a few minutes or a few exchanges where the two characters are exchanging quips, but nothing of meaning is happening. There's like just roasting each other, pointing out flaws or being quirky or whatever, but nothing of value is happening. And so now, because of social media, I think it's at least what it feels like. Because of social media, a lot of modern day writers are kind of writing with the meta in mind and not being in the zone when they're writing. They're thinking about, what will Twitter say? Oh, what are the fans saying about Star Wars? They want to acknowledge the memes and the fan theories within Star Wars, like the Acolyte try to do with the Jedi and Yoda, right? So we had this whole thing coming down from the prequel trilogy, which is kind of showing us the Jedi in a less than optimal light, where they're kind of resting on their laurels, right? They're kind of normal. their normal actions are sedentary. Like they're not really as moral or as on point as they should be. Right? They kind of they become decadent, and so they are in a state of decline as with the Republic. So with it's been like a long time coming that the fans are theorizing that the Jedi were not all that great, the Jedi were failures, and etc. and so forth, right? And so they act like try to go in, like dive into the meta of Star Wars, because heck, these writers probably know the meta better than they actually know Star Wars, because they probably don't really know Star Wars that much. Heck, I'm not even sure they've even seen Star Wars, but they know the meta because they're on social media. Right? They looked up a Wikipedia page or something like that, and they looked up fan theories and everything. So that's kind of why they all feel like fan fiction. The people who are making Star Wars don't really know Star Wars, but they do know the meta of Star Wars because of social media. And even if they did look into Star Wars, I'm pretty sure that at the very least they're writing with the meta in mind because of social media. Like they're looking like, well, what are they going to theorize? What are they going to come up with? Let me go ahead and take this fan theory and run with it, instead of actually building onto what was already been built into Star Wars organically. Instead of getting there, that's why it feels like fan fiction, because fan fiction doesn't want to do that. Fan fiction doesn't want to have usually want to have the patience to build. It just wants to get right to the meat, right to the sauce. Right? They want to get right to the heart of what they most want. Right? We're not going to waste time building things up. We're just going to get right to Zuko dating Katara. Or something like that. Right? We're just going to go right to what we want to see. That's why it feels like fan fiction, because with modern day Star Wars, they kind of disregard the world building, and instead of trying to build up to this point organically, we go right to the point where just Luke Skywalker is a broke bum who ran away from his responsibilities. We're not going to explore why or how he got there. We're just going to say like, oh yeah, he got angry or whatever and went crazy and almost killed his nephew, and then his nephew therefore killed everyone else, and so now he's a sad hermit. What? He ended up to stop everything, just kind of ran away to Octo. What? That's not Luke Skywalker. First of all, he wouldn't try to kill his own nephew. That's just retarded. I mean, he saved his own father for the dark side, which was Darth Vader, one of the most evil tyrants who's ever been, and he ended up saving him. This having a bad dream about Kylo Ren, and then trying to instinctively kill him. Like, what is that? That's something that would happen if you were like a novice, like if just beginning his journey. But no, he's a wizened veteran. He wouldn't be like that. He wouldn't just act on instinct to kill his own nephew. That's just silly. So that's kind of what happened there. That's kind of why it feels like fan fiction. It's the Rian Johnson thing once again, where we kind of just go right to what we want to see, or right where the writer wants to see, or what he wants to see, as opposed to organically building up. Which why we didn't have an organic build up to Luke Skywalker. Heck, if they wanted to do that, it should have begun, even if you only had one movie. All right, it should have begun with Luke Skywalker walking around and exploring whatever he's exploring, or whatever he's doing, and then it should hint at the event. It should have started with this conflict as to why Luke Skywalker is now this disillusioned hermit. Like, at least should have hinted at the event that we would soon see. Like, maybe if we don't start off with it, maybe we kind of hint at it, and then later on we get the full explanation from Luke himself. But that's what it should have been. It should have, if you wanted to organically build up to it, we got to feel like we understand why Luke went this way. Why Luke went from the guy we saw at the end of Return of the Jedi to what we see now in the sequel series. Like, what happened? And it has to feel organic. It has to feel earned and reasonable as to why he ended up from so different from what we saw in the original trilogy. But we don't get that because Rian Johnson wrote us a big pack of fan fiction. And he just went right to he's a disillusioned old hermit. And we don't really get a reasonable explanation as to why. We get some sort of hand wave nonsense. So yeah, I'm so tired of a lot of the modern day writers in Hollywood or whatever writing with the meta in mind, or writing for the meta. And I think a lot of people are like stop making jokes about the genre while you're writing the movie. That's for parody and stuff like that. Like horror movies are supposed to be played straight, and then we have movies like Scary Movie that makes fun of the horror movie tropes. Right? That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to go. Norman, Alex the Fido Super Chat says, Act 2 ruined Star Wars thing. Ruined that Star Wars thing. Exactly. So Ryan Johnson did. Fantastic. He's the Haktua guy. Golden Reaper Alex the Fido Super Chat says, you might see me less, so expect me less for now, but I'll come back full time. Well, fantastic, Golden Reaper. Whatever you're doing, hopefully it goes well, but look forward to your return. Well, good luck, Golden Reaper, and we'll see you when we see you. But for now, I'll give you one of these. Yes. So there you go, Golden Reaper. Good luck to you. Awesome. Hope you return quickly. You return fairly quickly. But good luck to you, Golden Reaper. Wolf says the subject critic called it a poorly timing lightsaber switch. Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
you're off a cliff. Ahsoka Tano will finally have to face her old man.
Additional $5 super chat. They watched more man says modern writers lack discipline. They do. They lack discipline. They do. They don't really. They kind of go with their guts and what they really want to feel instead of building it up organically and thoughtfully. So the undisciplined writer will just dive into where they want to see that, right? They dive right into the scene they want to get to. That's kind of why in a lot of these modern day shows and movies and everything, we kind of get to a scene that feels like it should be emotional or it feels like it should be a big moment, but we don't get that. They didn't do the groundwork to build up to that. We just kind of get there, right? It's kind of how it goes. Our man says modern writers lack discipline. They do because it takes discipline to build up to the scene you want to get to, because that's what you're most excited to see. That's your most excited part you want to get to. Like you want to see this fight, right? You want to see a fight. This is cool. These two characters fight each other, but then you kind of have to build up to it. A disciplined writer will know they have to organically build up to this moment so it feels real, as opposed to just jumping right in, which a lot of modern day writers do. Wolfsbane the 10 Cheers says, off the back, but when are we going to get an OC review again? Maybe pretty soon. Wolfsbane the Digital Tears, but as better, which do you think is a better idea? A sci-fi world where they terraform a planet filled with dinosaurs and primitive humans during the evolution process, or a gate where they enter a world like this? Either way, the scientists make a station, it gets sabotaged, and the MC is stranded. Interesting. I guess what are you most excited for? They both seem like good ideas. It all depends on what you want to write about, I guess. But because those are two different stories, right? You get where they terraform planet with dinosaurs and primitive humans during the evolutionary process is an interesting way to explore the overreach of science and people in general, or a gate where they enter a world like this. Either way, I guess he enters a world that's already like that, so it's kind of like a fish out of water story. So a story that explores the overreach of science, I guess, and then or an out of water fish out of water story. Like which one are you more interested in? I think will be the better question. Anyway, chat, we got a guest in the back room. Let's see what this could possibly be. Where is it? Welcome, the one and only Glub Chateau. Welcome. Let's see. Ghost says Ryan Johnson's bubblehead got beamed too many times in my gym class dodgeball by even the nerdy kids, and he swore he would tear it all down. Yeah, he's like movie Hitler. Let's see. All right, Towers is lit glib for the win. Exactly. Get the glib for the win.
That's right. A medium bagel.
Fantastic. Let's see. Well, welcome. Happy May the 4th be with you, Glib.
Happy Death of Star Wars Day.
That's kind of how it's become, like a Star Wars Memorial Day, essentially. Yeah. Remembering the death and the life of this once great franchise, and inspired so many of us.
It's true. And now it's inspired us to stop watching.
That's kind of the main thing that's been inspiring people to do, is stop watching, make their own stuff. I think that's kind of what the Disney Star Wars has done, to its credit, is it inspired a whole generation of people to make their own stuff, because man, we can be better than this.
I was going to say something against TOS, but anyway.
Let's see. What was it? It's like something like this.
Left-wing activists. They say, nice hobby that you have. It's a little bit sexist, don't you think? Maybe you better let us in to fix it. Bitch, it wasn't made for you.
A little sexist, don't you think?
Golden era. That was golden era Ethan Van Sciver before he turned to the dark side of the grift.
You should let us in to fix it. That's what where everything went wrong, right? We let them in to fix it, and they destroyed it with a bat. We are here today to mourn the death of Star Wars.
We're here to remember the life of Star Wars. This is like a little picture of Darth Vader, like above a casket.
I think
F.
tomorrow's like Revenge of the 5th, right? I think tomorrow is also Star Wars Day.
I don't know. I think what is it? What is that? Cinco de Mayo. I think drunkenness is more important to people than Star Wars.
That is true. So we really only get May the 4th. Celebrate Revenge of the 5th is technically a Star Wars Day, but it's a Cinco de Mayo, and which is way more festive, I think, than current year Star Wars.
It inspires more happiness.
A lot more happiness, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Still, once again, she will complete her training and come to understand there is quite the journey ahead.
You look the same.
You look old.
You look fat and ugly and stupid.
It's such modern day writing. It is. Why would he say that?
You look shorter than I remember.
Yeah, it's just like they have these little quips they think are really witty, but they're just cringe. You look old. Ha 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 ha. Like one of them needs to be witty and quippy.
What happened to your midriff? You used to wear that out.
Luke, did I ever tell you about Ahsoka? Yes.
Well, that happens.
Okay, so if you don't know, Dave...
She went to cross her arms, Mauler. All right, you cut out before she crossed her arms. Oh my goodness, what a travesty! Is that even Ahsoka Tano? I can't even recognize her without her arms folded.
Filoni writes dialogue about as well as Ryan Johnson writes whodunits.
It's just dumb.
So,
I feel like that. I like to think this is a moment of like lucidity for the actor Daniel Craig. He's just that wasn't even acting. He's just like they told him the plot to the movie, and he's
just
like
dumb.
That was just Ryan Johnson realizing how stupid his script was.
Yeah, this is dumb. Like, I wonder if this Ryan Johnson. No, Ryan Johnson might end up being based if he made this thinking that Hollywood is buy anything.
I do actually wonder if he set out to screw it up intentionally. I actually do believe that. Yeah,
that might be an interesting thought process. It's just like, okay, did he actually make this as bad as possible? Like, come on, a random twin, and then the guy that murdered her sister is like, oh, she's alive now.
She's alive now.
I guess
she's alive now.
He had to like, she's alive now. Okay, I guess I didn't kill her. What? He's just cool with it.
Brain alive writing.
That's pretty crazy. It's a little normal man. Makes additional $5 super chat. Thank you much, normal man. Appreciate it. Yes. And Zero Man says the Star Wars parodies of Lucasfilm era Family Guy, Star Wars, and Robot Chicken were awesome and came from a place of love. They were awesome. Yeah. So the parodies can poke fun at the tropes. The movies themselves really shouldn't.
That is our word.
It's our word.
You can't use that word.
Can't use that word. It's our word. But the thing is, in the movies, they like, oh yeah, the force makes rocks float. Like, okay, shut up. Okay, in Marvel movies, they shouldn't be talking about the superhero landing. Okay, that's that. Oh yeah. Family Guy can do that in a parody, talking about Marvel movies, but you really shouldn't be doing that in the actual Marvel movies. All right, you shouldn't be in on the joke. You should just be focusing on the stories. Right, you're not a parody. You're not a comedy movie.
I'm just amazed at how well they killed this stuff.
Yeah, just
it was
thoroughly
impressive.
Like with the pillow, just pressing on the face and everything slowly and horribly.
It was like the Joker in The Dark Knight, where his plans just work out perfectly no matter what.
Exactly.
That's what killing Star Wars felt like.
Every single time. Well, they had a lot of money behind them, just floating every single stupid idea that killed the franchise.
Oh my god, that's such a stupid idea. Yeah, you go, girl.
Here's $40 million. Yeah, do it. Go get it.
Get it, girlfriend.
That's kind of what happened. Norman Malik Savage Jet says, I remember Star Wars fan films like Troopers. Troopers was actually pretty fun. That was a pretty fun concept. And I like the pilot episode.
Cops one.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. And they had like Buckethead or something like that. They had one where it's about like a crew of stormtroopers going into missions and stuff like that, which is also pretty cool. It's a Wolfspay, the 10 years. Honestly, I'm just trying to set up a pulp world like in Conan or John Carter of Mars. Well, then, yeah, just have them be
just
isekai.
do one, and then figure out what the next one is.
Yeah, if you want to do the whole like a pulp world like John Carter of Mars, do what John Carter of Mars did. Just have the guy from our world just pop into the other world. So the gate one you put forward would probably be the best idea. Whereas like he just falls into a gate and ends up in a world of dinosaurs and stuff. It's a mix of those, the tense horror of primitive war Jurassic Park books, a little bit of nanobot technology and some enhanced humans, and recently adding a bit of dad simulator pragmata where the MC makes the choice of saving himself or his mentor's daughter and defending himself. Let's do the gate one. I think that'll go better with the
start
story.
with something. Like it doesn't really, you don't have to be too precious about your writing. That's the thing that people are like, they think that they're going to get so invested in something that they're not going to, that it's like one and done. But the reality is that you have a lot of time in a certain way to reiterate it. So you can go back and fix it. It's not something that is just static. You don't just be like, all right, I got the idea and I'm done and I'm sticking with it. You might want to change it later. You have no idea, you know?
Yeah.
It's something that evolves.
Get your first draft hammered out, and then you can, writing is actually the rewriting of it all.
Yes, exactly.
It's actually the 10 years the Fate series has their parody of themselves as separate series entirely from the normal shows. Yes. So that's kind of what you want to do. Like I said, Marvel movies shouldn't be pointing out the superhero landing. However, if they made like a movie called Superhero Movie or something, then they could do that. Like a scary movie or like epic movie or whatever, or disaster movie. If they made a superhero movie, they could do that. Okay.
Parody.
So
movie.
as much as this,
it's just
that'd be kind of movie. That'll be meta. There's like a parody movie that makes fun of parody movies. That'd be pretty interesting. Maybe not today, but it would be interesting during in the height of the parody movie.
Like it's a movie, but it's a movie about the making of a parody movie, and they're having trouble being funny.
Yeah, like what was it called? The one with Nicolas Cage, and he's talking about orchids and stuff.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It's about like a writer or a director or something like that.
There's too many bad Nicolas Cage movies for me to remember which one we're talking about.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Shit clunks harder than adamantium anal beads. We're going to try and work through to the point this episode has to make.
It means you still have a chance.
Chance.
Adaptation. That's what it was.
Adaptation's good. Adaptation's a very good movie.
That's a really good movie. So that's what I'm thinking of, where he's like, it's like this Cage, he's like talking about orchids and everything. He's trying to make a movie about a book that you care to make a movie about. Very interesting. But it'd be like that. It'd be like the parody, parody movie would be about like the director trying to get it all together. Trying to find, okay, what are we going to parody? How do we parody it? And that sort of thing.
To live.
So Ahsoka is here and she's dying. Interesting, since all...
I wouldn't say it's so much as interesting as good. Good, I'm glad she's dying. Finally, it could die.
3 characters I've been referencing are essentially comatose in their respective stories.
Live or die.
We are then treated to witnessing a great battle in the Clone Wars. I was able to...
1 second.
Essentially comatose in their respective stories.
Live or die.
I do like this because Hayden Christensen sounds as tired of Star Wars as we do.
It's not, it reminds me of the dialogue reminds me of that Mortal Kombat line or whatever. She's like, "Too bad you will die." You remember that?
Is that for the original work? I don't remember.
Yeah, from 1995.
Yeah, I don't remember that line. But it sounds like something that would be in there.
She's like, she finds out that the character is her mother, and she's like, "I never knew you were alive." And then the mom goes, "Too bad you will die." And that's just what all this dialogue sounds like. Is like, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, that's what the character writes this bullshit. Like that's what I always think of it as. It's the de facto default thinking about what something should be with writing. And I always feel like the best writing that I enjoy is something where it's what the character would say, but you have to know the character really well to be able to write that dialogue. You can't just go, What does somebody say here? Oh yeah, they say, well, that happened.
Yeah. well, that just happened. He's right behind me, isn't he?
Looks like he woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Smooth move, X-Lax. All my favorites. All my favorite millennial dialogue.
It's one step below the James Bond quips because they're not even quips. They're just, you're acting like you're saying something clever, but it's really just pointing out how awkward something is, which to me is really interesting because it says something, I think, about modern day people. Like the person that is a writer, they're the ones that are having these awkward conversations. So that's what they're basing their life around. And it's this really touchy, uninteresting world that they live in, is the way that I viewed that. I was like, if you exist in a space where people are all doing the millennial awkward stuff, then it's no wonder that your writing is also like that. I think Hemingway said, before you can write, you need to go out and live. And I think that that's true. I think that the
paradox of the artist, yeah.
The writing that I did 10 years ago, 15 years ago is so much worse than the stuff that I'm doing. And it's probably going to get better if I stick with it. And that's why I was saying life experience. Yeah, because you get and then also it's like you just learn how to do things better. By going through the process, you refine your own process and you realize that there isn't really a perfect way of doing any of this stuff. And as long as you think that you can get better at it, you will. As long as you just practice it. But you have to practice what you preach. You can't just be like, I'm doing it, and then you're not doing it.
Let's see. Will Smith and Cheers is a problem is that I usually get these ideas during work, and by the time I get home, I either forget half the details.
Nope. You got to write your notes.
That's why a lot of writers tend to carry a little notebook around them with them.
I always have a notebook, and I got that ever since I listened to this little thing on when I was a kid on Tchaikovsky, and the character of Tchaikovsky's like, I always carry a notebook because every time I get these notes in my head, and then I forget about them.
You never know what you can toss in the gulag.
Yes, I am fake Russian man. I am writing Russian Star Wars.
I am professional Russision. Let's see. I'm tired as hell. My brain already uses vivid imagination to go through the story, and I lose all my own motivation to actually write it. I just got to sit down and force myself to actually write it. Yeah, it's tough sometimes.
There's no crying and writing. Get back to work, Wagey.
You gotta shed blood, not tears. It's a no romantics find out superchats as a parody movie, like the producers. Yeah, like the producers a little bit, where they kind of like make the movie, but it's a scam.
If the movie was just about if he just released a movie that was springtime in Germany, or springtime for Hitler in Germany, it wouldn't be funny. It's funny because they're committing fraud.
Yeah, they're trying to commit fraud. We're like, okay, well, it failed, so we get to keep all this money.
Yeah, but I think that it's funny because they know that it's a movie in a movie, and a lot of the Mel Brooks stuff works because it's a movie within a movie. He's doing a thing where his story is contextualized by something else. So that's why the ending of Blazing Saddles, they realize they're actually in a movie and they're chasing him through the studio, and in Spaceballs there's the fourth wall break of them selling all of the merchandise. Yeah. So there's that multi-layer of the movie being something more than just a movie, and I think that that's important to the consistency of his work, because otherwise it'd be like, like there's a lot of parodies that are just generic parodies. They're not really. They don't really feel.
They're not very clever. It's kind of just like a cash grab, which was supposed to be like what Springtime for Hitler was supposed to be like. I think from the producers.
Yeah, what is it? The Seltzer and Friedberg movies, like where it's date movie or whatever. They're not doing anything special with the concept of doing a parody. They're just doing.
Like Mel Brooks was really good because one of my favorite parts of Spaceballs was like, oh, we got him. Oh, you didn't catch them. He caught their stunt doubles.
Yeah, that's so funny. Like that. It's just. Adding a conceit that just exists in the movie, I think is a really clever way of doing this stuff. And I don't think enough people recognize that they should keep pushing out an idea until there's nothing that they can add to it anymore. And then on the opposite side, it's like if you feel like you're looking from it anymore, then you know that you've reached like maximum efficiency for the story.
Let's see. And then Greta Moore says Robin Hood. He checks the script. Like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to lose.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, one more shot. He gets one more shot.
We are then treated to witnessing a great battle in the Clone Wars. I was able to figure this out because of the incredible visuals, not at all because of the zombie piss hat dialogue.
This is the Clone Wars.
Anakin tells
this is the Clone Wars.
Elite.
That's so stupid.
The modern day dialogue is awful. It's just so bad because they know that you're not watching the movie, so they have to make sure that you know.
Yeah, like it's
second
screen content.
Yeah, so that's why they even though that you're literally being shown the Clone Wars, they have like some guy go in, it's the Clone Wars.
I recognize that.
It's kind of like the live action Avatar, which I will never forgive. Not even like the M. Night Shyamalan movie. The M. Night Shyamalan movie is better than the live action Netflix.
Oh my god!
Because the M. Night Shyamalan movie is an actual movie. They treat it like an actual movie, even though it's kind of weird.
I can't believe you just said that.
With a Netflix Avatar, the Katara's grandma will points to Aang and goes, "He is the last Airbender." And then he talks to Appa, and he just lays down his entire character. Like, I don't want to be the Avatar Appa. I want to play and have fun.
But they do that though. Like she in A New Hope Awakens, she says, that's Han Solo."
I can't believe you're Han Solo, Han Solo.
You're the Han Solo?
I just like, stop it. Get help. Stop fangirling inside the movie. All right, you're supposed to be living in this universe. You're not supposed to be from our world you're not supposed to be from a Californian cafe fangirling over characters.
Yeah, what a bunch of crap.
That's how they write every character. It's just themselves from a Californian cafe being dropped into XYZ world. And it's always the same personality too. It's never any different. They have pretty much the same personality with, I guess, a little bit of variation, but they're all the same quippy personality.
They do the thing where it's like, that's da-da-da? Who's da-da-da?
It's like ChatGPT, where ChatGPT goes, it's not blank, it's blank.
Oh my god.
ChatGPT does it all the time. All the time.
He's not a Sith. He's straight up dark Jedi.
Yeah, he's just he's pure darkness or something like that. It's like they're on a commercial at all times. Hello to you, Digital Parker. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
She will have to make decisions that bring about people's deaths, and that to win the war, you have to be a soldier.
Is that all I'll have to teach my own Padawan one day?
So, Ahsoka...
Yes. You're in a war. Like, I don't tell you, you killed a lot of people. I don't know what else you want. Like, you're in a war, yeah, you fight.
It's not just a war, it's a Star War.
It's not just a war, it's a Star War.
Top 10 most Star Wars.
I mean, it's pretty funny with it's the Admiral Akbar's radio show from the Clone Wars, where he's like, "Oh yes, last time the Republic attacked this, and this, and we had some trouble there from the Separatist boys. Top 10 battles." like he in the universe would do the top 10 battles. Like it would be like that's what would happen today.
Admiral Akbar's top 10 traps. Number 10, Yavin 4. Number 9,
Exactly.
Astolfo. Number 8.
They would do that seriously in like if it was made today. They would do that. They would have them be a YouTuber or something like that.
Oh my god. They'd be like Instagram but in space. And she's like swiping on Tinder for a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, and she's like, dating these days in the year whatever, in the long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is so hard.
I says name here.
I Jedi person.
It's like, because that's what they literally do in the Avatar: Last Airbender Netflix show. He lays down in one speech, lays down his entire character because they don't really show the character. It's so bad that the first season of Avatar: Last Airbender, the live action Netflix version, which I have to state everything because there's also live action movie by M. Night Shyamalan. In the first season, he doesn't even learn waterbending.
No,
he just maintains airbending. And then Boomy is, he acts like Boomy, in the beginning, like an angry old man. And then the new twist for the live action movie is that he is just an angry old man. He's not trying to teach Aang a lesson. He's just angry at Aang for leaving. So he's just an angry old man.
Oh my god, dude! I can't even believe these things are real. That's the thing that gets me about it.
So I'm saying it's worse than the M. Night Shyamalan. At least the M. Night Shyamalan movie seemed like he liked the show a little bit, like a little bit. And all the Indian actors were kind of.
That was so fucking stupid, dude. him being like, "I'm Indian. I'm gonna put Indians in it." What was he thinking?
But he made Indians the Fire Nation, which is kind of funny.
What the fuck was that?
Guys.
Like it's just,
Don't-
I mean, it's just so funny. It's like when people talk about like racism and stuff like that, and then they do stuff like that. I just go, what are we even doing? Like this is just everybody's just lying to me about reality.
Look, to be
Because-
fair, if I was in control of making an Avatar the Celebrated movie, I would make the Fire Nation Mexicans, all right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We can't just do what's on the page as it is, like which is a Japanese British combination for
Gotta
them.
be
Like,
different.
It's yeah,
Gotta
we
be
gotta
different.
do something special.
I would then I think I could write in like Sokka eating a taco, and then
oh my god,
Katara going, Sokka, that's Fire Nation food.
Fire, it's not that spicy.
Exactly. So see, we're already running the modern day version of Avatar.
Then he's running to the bathroom. Ay caramba!
Exactly. It's just because that would happen to Sokka because he's like the comedy guy.
Yeah, he's crying from the hot sauce.
Exactly.
Can you water bend me some water?
And then Aang would be like, "Well, that just happened."
I warned you.
Smooth move, X-Lax.
We used to get spices from the Fire Nation when I was a little baby.
Yeah, he would say like that was pretty good, and then Aang could handle it, but Sokka can't because he's used to the fight.
How come you get to handle the spicy? He's like, because I'm the Avatar. I'm the master of cooking.
Because I'm the Avatar.
I'm the Avatar. So everything. I'm a Mary Sue.
SMU, thanks for just chat says that thanks. I hate the idea of trying to bring Tinder and TikTok into Star Wars.
Yeah, because that's modernity. Like, oh, it's modern, therefore we have to do that.
Up next, Admiral Akbar's top 10 traps. The last 7 days. Let's see. Normal Man, thanks for chat says I ban stories set in the current day if it meant never getting a cringe influencer on YouTube character done by boomers ever again. Exactly. It's kind of if everyone ever watched Ben Yahtzee Croshaw before he left Zero Punctuation because of some weird shenanigans with the Escapist magazine.
Oh yeah, Escapist now Escapist is just AI content.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really. The only reason I watched Escapist ever was for Ben Yahtzee Croshaw.
That's correct.
But he would carry that website on his back for years. But I used to watch Unskippable, which was stupid, but it was kind of fun to have in the background. But he said that I kind of wish we could just outlaw sequels. All sequels have been outlawed, and he said, yeah, we might lose some legitimately good sequels, but there's a price I'm willing to pay. I think now we should do this. We should have that rule with remakes. No more remakes. Right? No.
Remakes are like in Futurama where you can't say Star Trek; it's banned. They'll dispatch the police.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a pretty funny episode of Futurama. Like it's outlawed because there was a cult that almost destroyed the world or something. What else was there? Yeah. The only thing I would accept maybe is like Tim Burton's version, which is like a reimagining. Because at least you have to work at reimagine. Like he redid Planet of the Apes. Now people didn't like that very much, but it was not the same. It wasn't just the same thing rehashed again. At least he put some effort in there, which it's kind of like the prequel trilogy today. Like we judge you too harshly.
Yeah, well that's the reason why I thought that he sold it in the first place, was because everybody was eventually just going to turn around and be like, you know what? Maybe George was so-and-so about it. But I watched some of the Light and Magic Season 2 stuff yesterday. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's the documentary about ILM and how they made all of these different things. And the Season 1 was really good because it had all of the stuff from like Jurassic Park and Star Wars and Willow and all these different things. But then they get to the prequels and they have Ahmed Best on there and he's talking about how he wanted to kill himself because everybody hated Jar Jar. And I'm like, I don't care about any of this. This is none of the all of this schmaltzy shit where you're trying to like rehabilitate the image of something or blame everybody for hating on this thing, but really like, no, I haven't changed my opinion. And then you have people, high up people in that thing talking about how like, well, people forget that it was made for 12-year-olds and the 12-year-olds. And I was like, no, I was the age that was the target age for Star Wars. And I was already a Star Wars fan as a kid and I didn't like it. And I still don't like it. Stop coping. Like it's just not going to change.
Also,
if you liked it,
you like it. 12-year-olds, like would it really be a good idea to start with freaking taxes?
I'm cool. My whole criticism and everybody talking about how it works nowadays. I'm looking at it. I'm going, guys, if we're gonna do that, can you please at least describe what the material reasons for this stuff is? Like, what is going on in this universe? Just tell me what's going on. That's all you have to do. But then they're like the taxation of trade routes, and I'm like, okay, what routes?
Yeah, what does it mean?
12 years old me could still understand what's going on. You just aren't telling me. You're just like, oh, it doesn't matter. There's all this cope over like, we don't have to do this, we don't have to do that, we don't have to do this. I'm like, what if you do and you're just telling me that you don't? Why do I have to accept what you're saying? And I've my whole life it's been the same argument. They keep making the same argument for why it's okay, for why you're wrong, for saying it's not good, for what, like all these copes about digital and I'm like, no, it's the same. I have the same perspective that I've had for years. I don't understand why we're still doing this. But then eventually you just have to go, okay, they're just 50 years from now, they're going to be saying the same thing. It's going to be the same forever.
Imagine this though. Like, imagine if we didn't start with the Jedi and the trade routes and crap. But imagine we started off with Anakin Skywalker and his mom, and suddenly, they're going along the trade routes on Tatooine, and they're suddenly stopped by droids. Like, what's going on here? Like, have you paid your taxes lately? And then it's kind of like Robin Hood. The sheriff Nottingham comes in and demands taxes from the church and so it'd be like that, where the droids come in there and they start demanding like sales tax from everybody. I already hate taxes. I mean, all right. I hate these guys already. So then we can see and feel like, oh man, we get this imagery of a single mom being like just bullied by these emotionless robots, or these soulless robots. I guess they have emotions for some reason, but getting bullied, these soulless robots are just demanding her money that they are not owed. And then we could kind of like feel and see the problem. It's emotion. We have a human investment now, instead of just like cold, stale Jedi come into a cold, stale area talking about taxes and trade routes. It's not as interesting.
I mean, this is the thing, is that they want to start the show in media res, just like the original one. Okay, so that means we have to start in the middle of the action. That doesn't work. You're starting with number 1. Imagine if we started the Lord of the Rings trilogy with a 2 towers. Does that make any sense? Like, where do you start in? Imagine if we didn't have a whole opener, and it was just Bilbo Baggins. And he's throwing a party. Point, you'd be like, "What is going on? I don't understand."
Because he does like host that party for the dwarves, but it doesn't open there, right? It opens with Gandalf going, "Hey, Bilbo, I need a thief from my D&D group. You up for a contract?" And then we get the party with the dwarves, right?
Does it make any sense, like, to have these characters just show up?
No, not really. It makes sense because the wizard brought them.
So when the movie starts and they land on this thing, I mean, I don't understand that. Like, you would think that there would be some sort of initial incident, but the only way that George could think to make the initial incident work for this one was to say that, okay, we have to deploy the Jedi over here to prove that the allegations of this thing are real, right?
Yeah, it's all about a lot of the tension from the scene comes from what you're being told, not what you're being shown.
So then what's the point of doing it in media res? Do you know what I'm saying?
The point of a media res is to start off with a conflict, which you don't need a media res for that. Actually, a conflict does not necessarily mean a battle or whatever. It could be that you are led in to the conflict fairly soon. You don't have to start off with it. But a media res is the point of it is to start off close to a conflict. But it doesn't always work, because immediate res leaves a lot to the imagination. Like, you don't really get a lot of information with that if you just start off in the middle of something. So it's tough. It can be tough. You have to be real careful when you start off in medias res.
Yeah, because it's like you're basically saying, okay, we want, and I understand this. Almost every George Lucas movie, almost every one of these tropey action type movies, you start off with the initial action scene, and that, if you look into a lot of these movies, you'll see that like everywhere. If was it the Kingsman movie? Remember that one, the first one where it's Eggsy and all that?
Yeah, I like that one.
The opening is a bunch of the guys doing a mission, and then a couple of them die, and then it's like, oh well, we need to replace these guys now, but at least we see what they're capable of. So that's what you're starting in a previous episode. Every Indiana Jones movie works like that. They start out with the initial adventure. Like in what is it, Temple of Doom? He's in China, and that's where Short Round shows up for the first time. You have the beginning scene where it's him having the archaeological race and the rock that rolls. That's a totally other adventure. So if we're gonna do this, there should be another adventure where the Jedi are doing something totally unrelated to the plot and resolving something. Then we can cut to Naboo problems and have
it can be as crazy as possible. Like
Or
the Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones opening is so good because it lets you do whatever you want essentially. Because an adventure that is just there to introduce the character and is pretty much meaningless to the rest of the movie. It's just there to introduce the character and what he does. So you can be as crazy as you want. And some of those are really maybe, like the opening for one of them is him like running away from that tribe, right? Like start the engine. Start the plane, like that one. That's it sticks in your mind. It's really good,
but it has nothing at all to do with the actual plot, except for introducing the villain.
It's just exciting. Yeah, all it does is introduce the villain. It's like whatever. There's nothing you possess that I cannot take away. It's pretty good. Like that's a good villain opening. It really is.
Like at the beginning of the story, you could have, if you wanted to do the thing where it's Lord of the Rings, you could have Yoda teaching the class of Jedi, like and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are watching over his shoulder, and they're like. They're telling the story of like the first Jedi or something, and it's like, oh, it's you get to visually see it, but then you find out that it's actually Yoda telling the class, and all the kids are like, oh, what about this, right? Like they could be having that, and then Yoda leaves and goes,
we have a problem. There's a trade route taxation. There is,
and then he can explain what's happening. But because George is so used to doing the intro sequence being a bunch of text as the intro. Like on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, right? Like that's what that is. But you can't start the franchise like that. It doesn't make any sense. But he has to because it's like a trope.
Yeah, it's
so
a trope
he's locked into this idea that we have to start it in media res, which isn't true. He just did that in the first one because it was the fourth one. And then the other thing is he has to have this long text.
What's interesting though is that the original trilogy was constructed in such a way that you didn't have to read it because I never did as a kid. Like I don't read the text. I want to get to the action.
We never. The whole reason why that was there is because when Brian De Palma was shown the thing for the first time, he was like, "We needed text." So George went, "Oh, okay," and then he added it in. But you don't need to watch it to understand what's going on, and that's the tricky part of it.
That's what they should have done with the prequel trilogy. Is I shouldn't have to read the text in order to find out what the hell's going on. It should go right into showing us what bad is happening. All right, and someone being oppressed by the evil government. Corporation or whatever it is pretty easy to understand even for a kid.
Yeah, but the problem is that the text doesn't even describe what's happening. That's the thing that's
I don't even remember the text actually. I don't remember the text from the prequels or really the trilogy. I just kind of remember what happens.
The taxation of trade routes is under dispute, and you're like, what trade routes? What are we talking about?
Man, if I was a 12-year-old kid reading that in a book, I'm like, okay, that's it. Done with this book.
Yeah,
do not stop with taxes.
Well, but see, I still think that you can make anything interesting. Like Dune, the opening of the thing is basically just baking in all the details of the place. They have the Bene Gesserit show up and give them the test, the midichlorian test, right? Are you a human or not? And then I'm seriously like, and then he's like, oh, and then they have this conversation, and then you have scenes where the Bene Gesserit are talking about how the universe there works. It's like we have a tripod system. The Landsrad is over here, and we have the transport guild, the spicing.
There's a lot
guild,
of stuff,
and but you get it. You're like, oh, okay. Dune is important because it's the only place where you can get this stuff. The stuff makes it so that you can live forever or whatever, right? Like because it's got true geriatric properties, and then it's also required to bend space time. Okay, well that means that we need it to do anything that we're going to be doing. That needs to be a part of the equation. So if you control whoever controls Arrakis controls the universe. But the problem is that there's all these like resistance groups that are on Arrakis, and they're constantly causing problems. And we're going to get transferred it, but it's actually a plan. And you find out every single detail that you need to. And you can say, oh, it's too dense, it's too this. But at least you know everything that's going on. At least you know, number one, spice is really important. It's important to keep people alive, which is something that everybody wants. It's something that you need to transport goods and services anywhere, and therefore you need control of it. And you understand that there are the Fremen that are on Arrakis that are against whatever. So all of the container of the structure of the story explains what is happening. And the same thing happens in the Lord of the Rings movie when they explain how the ring didn't get like 9 rings. Here's the power. This ring is the most powerful. Sauron is the one that made it. Sauron's the big bad guy. We almost threw away the ring, but the selfishness of man led to the falling of man into the state that it's in today. And now, guess what? Frodo has the ring. Guess what? Arrakis is under the control of the Atreides. Like, now we know where we are. With the Star Wars prequel, we don't really know anything. What is the importance of Naboo? Why does invading Naboo create a blockade? Like, why does the blockade create a problem for the entire Republic? What's
because
the
Naboo
big
controls
deal?
the spice. Hugh controls Naboo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Naboo had something like, what is that generator room or whatever with all the plasma underneath Naboo?
I think the
is that
whole
hyperspace fuel? Because if it was, then it would make sense.
That makes sense. Like they kind of like they have a lot of like value, but I think the conflict they ended up going with was that Naboo are a peaceful planet, and they're in the Trade Federation is being meanie heads to a peaceful planet, and that's the main conflict. Like they're being big bullies.
But that's not good enough. Who operates like that? That was what I was trying to get at. Where it's like, it just seems weak.
But even what's his name, Hideo Kojima. Like even he like the Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Like the conflict is that they have a nuke and they want to go see if they have a nuke or not. Like the rumor is they have a nuke, and so that's why the government gets involved. So like yeah, that makes sense. Like that's why the government, of course, the government get involved. They think that this random outer heaven people have a nuke.
Yeah, well, and this one they're like, okay, we need to find out if the invasion is real, and you're like, okay,
like the invasion is legal or whatever and is happening. And
can you tell that it's actually happening? You're like, okay, we have this really high tech thing. We have like holograms and stuff. Oh, they're blocking it, and so they come up with all these. He comes up with all these reasons why we don't know what's happening, and I find that to be really, really fucking annoying because it's like this blockade is not interesting. Nothing happening is not an interesting setup. A siege, but because it's like, okay, the reason why the blockade exists as a problem in the story throughout the entire story is because they're trying to show that like they need to go to Naboo and they need to fix the situation, and then we need to go to see all the Gungans and stuff, the Gungas. But the problem is that that's not interesting. Okay, let me put it this way. The Trade Federation put a blockade up, and almost all the stuff takes place on Naboo. Naboo doesn't have an army, but there's an army that's controlling it. So now we got to go raise an army from the native population there. How is this not a ripoff of Dune? The Gungans are the Fremen. They hide in underwater or underground stuff, right?
Oh man.
So fuck everybody.
Oh, if that's true, that's such a bad representation of the Fremen. George Lucas saw the Fremen and said, "Oh yeah,
George Lucas is will never talk about Dune as an influence on Star Wars, even though it's the biggest influence, which I think is really fun.
Dune is fun. I like Dune. I like the Dune movies. I've been reading the Dune books recently. But man, the Gungans and the Fremen as the Fremen.
But this is what I'm saying though, is that like having the Gungans there on the planet and having like a tension between these two things is not interesting. The Gungans, number one, are like this goofy, ridiculous Jamaican bunny civilization
that are really badass for some reason. Like their war stuff is pretty badass, but they are just goofy.
Well, my thing is like, why do we have to be stuck like this? Why? Because there's no. I remember people arguing with me that there's no planetary defense forces in the prequels, and people were saying actually there are. They're just not on camera. And I was thinking like, how can something be in a movie but not in a movie and not even referenced in a movie? So the idea that nobody invades anybody by choice, but also nobody has armies because the Republic has been around for 1,000 years or whatever. And I'm like, this is a bad setup.
The whole idea of like, okay, you have to sign to make the invasion legal. It shouldn't really been an invasion. It should be you're hiring us to protect you. Like we have to make it seem that way. It should be like something else. Like who agrees to be invaded? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, like let's say that does make sense. Let's say that they do that. Why is the story not about going after the Trade Federation then?
It should be. Like it shouldn't be about the good guys versus the Trade Federation.
How come we never see the Trade Federation planet ever?
That'd be cool because I do like one of my favorite races from the prequel trilogy are those guys, the Nute Gunray, Nemodians. I like those guys. They're pretty fun. They're just underutilized. I even like Nute Gunray as a character. I think he's pretty fun. Like in the prequel trilogy. I mean, that's what you can like a character. I like the fact that he seemed like a guy trying to survive, and he got caught up in something way over his head. So by the time we get to third movie, he's like, "Please, we just want peace." Not like I kind of like Nute Gunray, even though he's not in the movies a lot. It kind of feels very relatable.
Well, who are the Nemoidians? What are they about? Like they're the Trade Federation. What do they trade? Why do they have droid capabilities? Do they make droids for everybody? If they make droids for everybody and they have a control ship, why don't we do a thing where everybody uses droids and then they just take over the droids through that like iRobot style? But
yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But it's not interesting because there's nothing going on. Like that,
Yeah,
literally,
the way it's
the
presented
plot-
is interesting.
the plot of the whole prequels is that something's going on in the background, but we never are there. Like we're just there occasionally. Like we have the Geonosis battle as the big battle of the Clone Wars movie, right?
Yeah,
The movie's called Attack of the Clones, and the only time that the clones are attacking is on Geonosis.
At the end.
Yeah, where's all the pathos of anything? And then, by the way, like in the Phantom Menace, they attack Naboo. Where are all of the Naboobians? Where are all the civilians? All we see is like a small group of people in the middle of Italy, in Venice somewhere. Where is everything in this story?
We're like in Spice Venice, and
But we have to act. We have to act like these movies are really good. I don't like why.
I think it should be canonical that they are called Naboobians. I like that as a name for people. Let's see. By the way, S Symbiote with a $20 super chat. Very generous S Symbiote once again coming in with the generosity here. Let me see. There we go. Thank you very much, S Symbiote, for the $20 super chat. Says the root cause is that the writers think they are so smart and they feel that they need to dumb down exposition for us all. Yes, that is definitely the attitude I've seen from modern day writers. They think that they're so clever and so smart that they need to dumb it down for us weirdos because they are the smartest ever, and we wouldn't be able to understand their genius otherwise. That's writers in general, by the way, is that you learn to get over that. But the modern day writers are not given that sort of criticism because that'll be considered bigotry. So they not only are they not given proper criticism, all their whims are praised and supported by the establishment. They're just told they're geniuses over and over and over again. This is how we got the Acolyte.
They're just so smart. I can't figure out what's going on. I'm such a stupid idiot. I'll buy the ticket anyway. Like that's what I do is I insult my audience.
It's not bad writing. It's that we're just too dumb to understand.
Which is the fucking wrong way to do something. If you think that you're smarter than the audience, that means that you should fucking entertain them. If they're not entertained and you're smarter than them, what use is your entertainment or your intelligence?
Yeah,
isn't that the saying that what's his name?
Albert Einstein?
No, Albert Anton Chigurh from
yeah.
He's like, what
good is the coin? What's it called? Yeah, it's like what use was the road? If the road you went down what led you to this, what use was the road? Right? I think that was it.
That's right. Yeah, and it's like that. Yeah, that's what use is your stupid fucking story that's so much smarter than everybody if nobody likes it.
I was thinking more like the Albert Einstein thing of like if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it good enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
What I was
if you
thinking
can't sum it up in like a paragraph, then you don't really know what you're talking about. That is totally true.
Which is why Blurb is so effective. Helen Berger says LD didn't read the text in New Hope. I didn't read it as a kid. I read it now, but as a kid, I was like, I fast forward through that part because I had on VHS, so I fast forward to that part. I don't care. I get to the lasers and stuff.
I also didn't read it because I didn't think it was necessary. Like everything was on screen. You didn't need to read any of that intro stuff because everything that was important to the story was immediately available to you.
Even if you watch the entire New Hope movie, you're like, oh yeah, I don't really need to read the text. It's not really necessary.
The good guys are good and the bad guys are bad. It's one of the most
pretty
obvious,
clear.
Yeah. But then when you get into like the taxation of trade routes and the Trade Federation, it's like, well, can you give me stakes for each of these characters? Can you explain to me what the Naboobians are like doing that makes them so rich? Can you explain why the Trade Federation is so upset about trade routes? Like, what are they paying a ridiculous amount to Naboo? Is that why they're rich? Well, explain that. Have a conversation where it's like, for centuries we've made many dollars off of these stupid gunray aliens or whatever. These Chinese aliens, like, because they pay slave wages. But then it's like, well, they have droids. So what are we fucking talking about? And why do trade routes matter when you have hyperspace lanes?
That would be kind of cool conflict, and it would establish like the Trade Federation as bad guys. Because what if the Trade Federation had so much power that they were like remember what's it called the company that used to do all the distribution for comics, right? I forgot what they're called, but like there was one company that used to distribute comics everywhere, and it went down during COVID, and everyone was like, "What?" We for a little bit there,
IDW.
I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
let's see. It wasn't IDW. Let's see.
He's a fake nerd.
Get him, Diamond. Diamond.
Yeah, I thought it was Diamond. Yeah.
Diamond comedy. Like Diamond used to like handle everything as like almost a monopoly, and then it went down during COVID. And then people are like, whoa, what? You're going down? Like we can't distribute anymore. So for a little bit there, comic book distribution was essentially halted. And then of course the big companies kind of made, roundabouts and everything, and Diamond eventually I think went under because no one needed them anymore.
Remember the Milkshake Brigade or whatever? The
Milkshake Crew.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that the one of the women that was involved in that I got into an argument with at San Diego Comic-Con was one of like the heads of Diamond near the end or whatever there, like when it was starting to go down, because they were having like they were having parties and shit, and it's like what are you fucking partying over at this place?
It's kind of like the French Revolution or the French aristocracy, like they're having parties while the whole world burned.
It's more like Nero playing the lute while Rome burns.
Exactly. But the Trade Federation was like that. Like they were like the diamond of the Republic, where they handled all the trade and everything. And then suddenly, like, you mean
like the Spicing Guild from Dune that's being ripped off right now? Wow.
Like the only thing that the whole thing is that they control all the trade or whatever. And then suddenly they're like just flexing their muscles and they're like, no, we want Naboo or something. And then
she can't do that.
Shooter. Oh, I love Duke Gunray. He's great. He's my favorite character from the prequels. Probably
I think people should just admit that they like how bad the prequels are and just get over
I do. I like how bad the prequels are. It's entertainingly bad.
Yeah.
Right. It's like watching Rey is more entertaining than watching a Captain Marvel, because Rey is just a Mary Sue, where Captain Marvel is a girl boss Mary Sue, which is like basically a Mary Sue that's angry at men and made for feminist reasons.
That's what most people like, characters that are angry at men. Right, that's what Hollywood needs to do.
That's why everyone flocks to these movies every single time.
That's why
they made a whole movie about a bunch of women angry at men. It's called The Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. And then they went from guys are not allowed to watch this movie, and then they went from that to why isn't anyone watching this movie? Because no one wants to watch the movie. It's terrible.
Our industry is falling apart. What did we do wrong? No, it's the kids that are wrong.
Yeah, it's the kids that are wrong. It's kind of like that was the Mary Sue
racist.
That was the Mary Sue DeConnica interview I've watched, which is I think it's not where this is from.
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Yeah, that era doesn't work anymore, buddy.
Yeah, but like that was the one where she's talking about not that interview, but I found an interview a long time ago where she is talking about comics and how comics are failing and everything, and like you don't really make any money until you get to the trades. And she has a famous quote where she's going, comics are booming. She's saying that to mock people that are saying comics are booming, actually, because they're not.
They're not. Yeah.
I wonder why. What happened to comics that no one bought them anymore? It's like people don't want to see angry women and people hate men and stuff like that. By the way, no man says Jar Jar Paul Atreides.
Misa human. Misa lisan al gaib.
You could get like Jar Jar Binks Muad'Dib.
Misa lida jihad.
That'd be so funny though if George Lucas went with Jar Jar Binks being the main character, and he's essentially basically the Mr. Magoo version of Dune.
Well, there's that whole theory that like the main what was it? Jar Jar is like the anti Yoda.
He's like a Sith Lord in the background secretly.
I thought that would make sense.
It would be cool. It would make sense. Yeah.
It would be a situation where the character is actually given a reason to be an idiot.
And sometimes I kind of feel like, was that his original plan? And then everyone hated Jar Jar Binks, so
that's right.
George Lucas abandoned it.
That's exactly what I think happened. Legitimately, without any sense of irony, I do think that's what happened.
That's kind of what it feels like, because he just kind of relegated Jar Jar Binks to the side after that. His only other big play was to help Palpatine, actually.
Because he's like, Maxi big the Force is, and you're like, what did he mean? What did he mean by that?
Yeah, what did George Lucas mean by this? But yeah, I could also imagine like a Dune parody, just starring Jar Jar Binks, where he just Mr. Magoo's his way through to being great. He's kind of like trips and stumbles and is weird until he's like Muad'Dib.
Well, it just looks weird. He's actually it's Drunken Master, like
it's supposed to be Drunken Master,
Jackie Chan, yeah. And you're like, maybe he is.
No, leave Misa alone. And then he saves a bunch of Gungan pottery.
Misa, the one in the prophecy. Uh-huh.
He's talking about Jar Jar Binks the entire time.
Maxi big the Force is.
It's kind
Misa
of the whole-
Sith Lord.
It's kind of the whole thing between Harry Potter and Neville Longbottom. Like it could have been Neville, but
Right.
but Voldemort chose Harry. Like what if it's one of those things? It could have been Anakin Skywalker, but it's actually Jar Jar Binks. We just think it's Anakin Skywalker.
It's like that the anime trope. It should have been me.
It should have been me.
I should have been the chosen one.
Let's see. But thank you much, normal man. Actually, that's $10 super chat. Thank you very much, normal man. Let me see. Let me get you the right clip here. I think it's this one right here. All right, normal man says Jar Jar Paul Atreides. Thank you very much, normal man. The additional $5 from normal man says the Trade Federation should have been portrayed as the Eastern Alien. Yeah, something like that.
Wait. Can you were underwater for that? Can you say that again?
What, this one?
Yeah,
The
say
Trade
what
Federation.
you said again.
The Trade Federation should have been portrayed as an East Indian trading company that does hostile takeovers of weak planets. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But you
That would
can't
be
do
awesome.
that with your perfect, stupid republic that like nothing bad ever happens.
Like, what if they just copied? What if they stopped copying Dune and started copying, Pirates of the Caribbean?
Copying the thing that copied you in the first place.
Exactly, it'd be pretty awesome. It's like they're trying to find like Davy Jones' chest. Or something.
There's like
Plagueis' chest.
Well, I want there to be more tension and more Star Wars in the Star War. If you're gonna have like shadowy blah blah blah, then you actually have to do it. You can't half-ass it, and that's what I always felt like was happening with this the prequels was that there was like it was half thought out, it was half produced, it was half put together. They didn't put in the effort to actually have all of the things that they wanted to have in it, and that was the whole problem. Yeah. I remember watching the behind the scenes, and George is they're talking about, I think, Revenge of the Sith, and he's like, oh, they're starting to make sets. I better finish this script. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you writing? Why aren't you finishing the script before you go and start plugging this shit in?
Doesn't make any sense.
So much confusing.
How do you
choices
do
in
that?
this thing. I mean, I know you can, but I don't know why you would.
I don't know what.
It's
Yeah,
bizarre.
what sets are you going? Like, how do you know how to make the set if you don't know what the script is? How do you know what to make? It's kind of like this. So there's a whole thing, way back when 2018, everyone's making their own indie comics, right? Starting to, around there, including Martina Marcota, and she has been very out about this whole story. But her artist, I think, was like from the Dick Masterson arena, like that area, and then she sent him. He's like, he started making pages, and she's like, "Don't I need a script first before you start making pages?" He's like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
Like, it's so fucking stupid.
How do you know what pages to make then?
Whatever. Do whatever you're gonna do.
And it turns out that he was making pages about his own character and just getting her to pay for himself and his buddies and like make. Oh yeah, I have a friend who makes posters, and then just after the money ran dry, he just stopped making her comic.
There's no shortage of people who just like want to half-ass it and think that they can finish it by doing nothing or like you know what I mean, you really just got to put the work in. There's no other excuse for it. It's just like your bodybuilding or whatever. You have to actually put the work in.
You got to put the work in. It's very important. A lot of people don't really want to put the work in. They just kind of want to be called a genius and just do whatever. But it takes work. It takes work. Even writing, as much as they want to cry about writing and saying, "Oh, anyone could do it," that's the easy part. It's not.
Writing out of
creativity
all
is
things,
tough.
You have to takes work.
It really is. It takes practice and creativity more so than a lot of other things because it's so ambiguous as to like, how do you know it's good or not? And then we have then there's the reality that it might be well constructed, but some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it.
Yeah, that's right. But you have to finish it.
You have to finish it first. Yeah, you have to finish it first and get it out there. And say Ryan Long. Thanks for the 5, which says the game tie-ins for TMP were better than the movie. Oh,
Lots of people
definitely.
say that. And the books.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I played some of those games for the Phantom Menace. Awesome games. And everyone loves that Pod Racer one too, right?
Yeah. Then they're releasing a new one. They are.
EA should bring that back and like tons of customizable stuff, customizable pilots and stuff. You get to do all kinds of crazy nonsense.
They are doing that. But the problem is that like we're not nostalgic about Star Wars anymore. Like that time is over. So I don't know what we're doing again because you don't have it. You don't have it in the first place. Like if there was actual love for this thing still, then it makes sense to do that. But I don't believe that there is. I don't know who the modern day Star Wars audience is. Who are they? Are there actual fans of this thing? I don't think so.
Well, because Disney and everyone, they trade out loyal, longtime fans for Johnny-come-latelys who just kind of want to say something new, and then they go away after that.
That's right.
Flash in the pan audience, instead of like the loyal guys who come in, they'll wait 5 years for a new movie to come out, they'll buy all the merchandise because they love Star Wars. They trade all that in for like the college bros or whatever. It's like, oh, this is a popular thing. I like popular thing. I want to support popular thing. All right, it's not as popular anymore. I'm walking.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Fickle audience. But yeah, especially the PS1 TMP game where you can wipe out civilians on Tatooine is quite. It's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. It is an interesting. The prequel era is an interesting era. It's just the movies weren't all that great.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, I'm going to fix this here. We did reach Pillarman, but it's got to do all the calculations first.
It's sad that death is a common part of the Jedi or soldier or warrior experience. Doesn't it suck that the fate of her Padawan is...
I do like the idea of... that's the next Disney thing. Our new attraction, the warrior experience.
Oh my god.
Violence and death. Perhaps it's worth throwing in the towel instead. Strange that she would have this perspective when this is adult Ahsoka reliving child Ahsoka's memory, meaning she is a person who has completed many campaigns, being motivated to save people's lives. She's not actually young nor inexperienced, because that is the point of the world between worlds, right? Soldiers dying and killing enemies in favor of preventing mass death is a pretty straightforward concept that I figure she understood and valued. Teaching a Padawan to engage in a life like that could be considered quite the positive thing. They may prevent mass suffering, something I figure she knew.
I'm teaching you how to lead, how to survive. To do that, you're going to have to fight.
What if I want to stop fighting?
And you'll die.
If you don't fight, you die.
You'll die.
Then die.
I just want to be a peaceful, nice person. Well, you're gonna get fucking killed, bitch.
You're just gonna fight back. Like, you're a Jedi. You gotta learn how to fight. Okay, it's kind of part of your duties.
That's what Aang went through, right? He's like, I don't
want to fight anybody. I want to be a kid. That's kind of what his whole conflict was. I just want to be a kid and play games, but he had to go fight people. That's kind of the whole thing.
Being the Avatar means you have to kill a bitch sometimes.
Aang, did I ever tell you about my young apprentice?
I'll tell you the story about Darth fucking
Darth Ozai. It's let's have Hideo Kojima has asked LucasArts if his game dev studio could make a Star Wars. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of interesting. Hideo Kojima just make like a Star Wars game. That'd be kind of like, imagine like Metal Gear Solid writing, but Star Wars. That'd be kind of cool.
Weak version of similar stories, considering how little there is to prompt.
I bet you the main character will be a clone.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 2 is basically like...
His name will be Solid Rex or something.
Probably.
That was Anakin should have said, if you don't fight, innocents will die. Like, he should have said that. Because he's supposed to be good Anakin at that point.
I had no clue Ahsoka was...
Exactly.
Who's going to stop them?
Stop being so selfish. Like, if you're not going to fight, then who will? Because someone needs to.
Giving up. Where was any of this in the previous episodes, and why was this prompted by Balin talking about death and destruction? Those lines are repeated in the previously on.
Your legacy, like your master's, was one of death and destruction.
She apparently took that criticism so seriously she's now contemplating suicide in the form of simply giving up. I doubt anything we've heard from Anakin so far is new to her, nor would it be anything that would encourage her to live or die in this scenario. But then I have no idea why she would want to die.
It was my fault. They were following my orders. I got them killed.
This is war, Ahsoka. As Jedi, it's our job to lead.
Ahsoka is apparently having a crisis in which she thinks all she seems to do is add to a path of destruction and death.
Hold on. Let me see.
This is war, Ahsoka. As Jedi, it's our job to lead.
Ahsoka is apparently having a crisis in which she thinks all she seems to do...
How is she alive if she's moving at the speed of molasses during battle? It doesn't seem very realistic to me. You think she would be moving faster, like they did in the prequel trilogy, but she's just like kind of casually fighting people.
This is
the most casual lightsaber battle I've ever seen.
Path of destruction and death, likely fueled by her tutelage from Anakin.
Whoa, Clip, look! She's folding her arms. Oh my goodness! I am entranced as a fan now because she's folding her arms.
This is, the whole thing. The whole thing is just fucking Dave Filoni being like, "Finally, my character, my OC is on screen.
I can't wait for Star Wars to burn down so my character can rise from the ashes."
Yeah, that's right. That's what that is.
But imagine making a character that's so empty that the main iconic thing you remember from her is that she folds her arms.
Oh my god.
How did this happen?
Anakin being Darth Vader. Perhaps that is her future too. So why not give up? Something we've had no priors for.
Yeah, this fight scene with Darth Vader is kind of cool. It's just that Darth Vader is a little too sassy. He's a little too sassy his movements, which I went over. Like it's like a woman Darth Vader. That's how sassy he looks. It's a Nora Manley Fighter Shits is the villain of Kojima Star Wars is Darth Badman. Like that, yeah, he probably would be actually. Because he's really on point with his names. Yeah, he's really on point with his names. Like he'll be like Darth Badman.
A Dark Lord of the Sith.
Like I remember like playing Revengeance, and Raiden is trying to go undercover, I guess, so he uses a fake name, but his fake name is Mr. Lightning Bolt. I don't think that's really helping you much there, Raiden.
What a genius writer you are, Kojima.
That's why I like him. He's insane, but somehow it works, and I like it.
Too, so why not give up? Something we've had no priors for in her own show whatsoever. And let's be honest.
All right, the costume makes it look like a hat. Like it looks like she's wearing a hat to me. And that's not part of her head.
And let's be honest, Ahsoka should know every detail about Anakin's much more recent actions from Luke. She did meet him, and she was obviously very invested in her former master's impact.
Wait a minute. This look on his face is very funny. Like if you think that the explanation is canon between him and Obi-Wan. Luke, have I told you about your father's katana?
Yeah, right. Hey, are you that girl that used to fuck my dad?
He's like, you're Shokatano? Yeah. I see. Well, hello.
You knew my father really well, huh? Now, I can't believe that they didn't get Sebastian Stan to play this guy.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan looks exactly like Luke.
I couldn't get over that.
It's crazy how much he looks like him.
They were allergic to making any good choices. They had that, what's it, Anthony Ingruber, who looks and sounds exactly like Harrison Ford, who was in a movie where he plays a young Harrison Ford character. And they're like, nah, we're going to go with this other guy who's too short. What the fuck are you doing?
They hate male characters. They hate the male characters from the original trilogy. They want to emasculate them.
Yeah.
Invested in her former master's impact on ending the war. Yeah, remember this? Anyone? That was a wasted.
He's like, the little smirk. Oh, you're a Shokatano, huh? I know about you. Only one told me about you.
That was a
Ahsoka.
What did he say? Oh, really?
Wasted fucking.
Get away from me, Thought.
Scene. Ahsoka should know about Anakin's.
Away, Thought.
Sacrifice, his values beyond that of the twisted machine, and she knew him beforehand. She's currently trying to save the galaxy, and by extension her Padawan and close friend, only she lost a fight to this literal who. She knows this guy about as well as the audience does. Still the best character, though. I have no clue why now of all times would have her reaching an existential crisis regarding her place in the world and her legacy as a destructive force when she's pretty much been a paragon in everything we've
Horton, the kind of Horton he is.
We've seen of her. She's more motivated now than ever to do the right.
I like the fact that her lightsabers reflect her character because they are as blank as she is.
Thing.
Yeah,
she is on
white.
the cusp.
Oh, she's got white. She's so fucking cool, dude. She's cooler than every other Jedi ever. So fucking cool and unique and
yeah, her lightsabers are white like a blank piece of paper.
That's so white like my supremacy.
Yeah, my favorite kind of supremacy.
Really, mine's purple.
Reignition of the Empire, and she's concerned about her actions leading to death. Her inaction will lead to way more death, as well as the danger of herself and her close friends. You can't just drop this arc on her out of nothing, and you certainly can't do it with about 4 sentences. But this is where it gets complicated. Nobody is agreeing on what the fuck Anakin's lesson even is, especially between those who love the episode. I've read their interpretations. It's the equivalent of a blender of Star Wars flavored Coke. Don't die. Live is the takeaway, but
that's a good one.
Many are digging a hell of a lot deeper.
Also, I didn't know you could actually show this scene for a long time. This one right here, where he's milking the cow thing. This seems like I thought that'd be censored, but it's not. They don't have to censor it.
Cope. Don't die. Live is the takeaway.
I'm so
but
glad
many
I didn't watch this stupid series. And I haven't watched any like Star Wars content since man, this is kind of hard to think. What was the last Star Wars thing you watched? Like chronologically, like the newest thing that came out. Andor? Andor was
tried watching the Maul series, but I kind of
There's a Maul series?
There's the other Darth Maul series. This came out.
Oh, Darth Maul. I thought you meant that it's just like Star Wars kids at the mall.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
You know what? That probably would be something they would make. There's like the bunch of Star Wars Disney fans and stuff like that. Just well, actually, they'll be paid actors, of course, because there are none. But they would just like follow some real kids going to a real American mall, buying real merchandise that they were given money to buy, to inspire some people to go do that themselves. Leigh Fastland says, "Oh, Ahsoka was supposed to be the Eowyn of Star Wars, but cooler and more betterer than all the media who came before. That's supposed to be. That's kind of how they imagined her, but not really. It's not really what happened."
Digging a hell of a lot deeper because Filoni has left
a lot deeper. Now, speaking of deeper, Luke, did I ever tell you about Ahsoka Tano?
It's incredibly confusing and vague. People speculate that Ahsoka feels responsible for the deaths Anakin caused as she did not prevent his fall, meaning it's time she gives up. If she had such enormous concerns about these sorts of events and decisions, then why has she been such an active participant in this form of activity without hesitation for so long? Where has this attitude been? Not only are we now heavily writing for the writer to squeeze meaning into this anorexic script, it has nothing to do with why she wouldn't want to live, and it doesn't address what she would know about Anakin. Why in the fucking world would this be dealt with now as opposed to when she found out about Vader? Why wouldn't you wait to prompt this when she goes through something very similar? Leela believed she got a...
What's funny is that this is they got, I think her name is what's her name? I forgot, but she's the one who's been loving with Ezra or something. The same actress is the girlfriend from Guns Akimbo that stars Harry Potter. It's actually a pretty fun movie.
Well, that's like a movie where we're just fucking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is. It's pretty fun. It's like he gets like these 2 guns bolted to his hands and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's just tossed into this death game. It's pretty funny stuff.
Edward gun hands.
It's kind of what happens. Yeah, his hand is just bolted to his hands. But she has the same hair in that movie too. So I think that's the actress's hairstyle, not really like a stylistic choice by the creative people.
Similar. Leela believed she got a crew member killed. Buffy believed she failed her duty and killed her sister. That's why their journeys were prompted. Ahsoka believes what? That people get hurt in wars where she gives orders? That people will eventually get...
You know what? That probably is the conclusion. People get hurt in wars.
People die when they're killed.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what she's coming to, like this realization too. Wow, people die when they're killed? I didn't know that.
Hurt if she doesn't give up, that she's responsible for the people Anakin killed, that she may become as destructive as Vader, that Sabine is simply fated to become as destructive and death-ridden as everyone else in this line of training. And what, this was prompted by falling off a cliff? Why are you showing me that she feels bad for the clones that died under her command, as though that justifies her belief that she brings death everywhere she goes and thus should die herself? Are we not talking about the lives saved, the places liberated, or the goods served? This was no mistake made based on her own flaws as a character. Does she have no understanding of the context of death? As far as I can tell, we're using clones because there's...
And to be fair, she probably shouldn't have been made a general. I think she was made a general because she's a Jedi. But she's like 12 or 14 or something. Like, does she really need to be in war right now? I don't think so.
I haven't heard anything good about this so far.
Did you know? Yeah, that really is what the modern audience, what the modern day writing, when they have a message in their film or movie or show, whatever it is, it kind of amounts to this. Something as basic as this. Did you know that war is bad, and that Hitler was like a bad dude? Have you seen Brian's girlfriend from Family Guy? It's kind of like they're all that person. Like I just saw Brian. I just saw this documentary on the History Channel, and you heard about this Hitler guy? Like we got to stop him. They're all like that. They're all like that. They're all like this Brian's girlfriend. Like none of them know that we all know already that war is bad and that Hitler was a bad guy.
Actually no other reference to force Ahsoka to have this arc. Nobody who died due to her own vices, flaws, or mistakes. And so this is nothing. There's nothing here for Ahsoka as a character to actually have to grapple with. She would never believe she is some destructive force or that she may become one if she continues to fight when she's the only one right now who can make the difference and help. I mean, fuck, she's Filoni's little Star Wars god. She's the bestest.
What did I just see?
He's flipped and destroyed a spaceship.
In space?
In space, yeah.
The brightest, most wonderful and good character. Nobody is convinced that she was going to take her own life because she brings death to the world. That's fucking retarded. Especially when death is threatening the world and the people she loves. So why the fuck of all times would she be giving up now? Thrawn is on her doorstep. Everyone she loves needs her, and she has no significant reason to think she would lose. There you go. That's why we're here. To see Anakin Skywalker crossing over into Vader, igniting a red light.
To watch him Vader.
Lightsaber looking evil. Because that shit is awesome. That shit is Star Wars.
Live or die. Incorrect.
Seriously,
this is so bad. Oh my god.
He sounds so tired. Like he got up really early that morning, or he has a cold or something.
Now I know why she wanted to kill herself, because it was the story was that bad.
I can't believe I'm on my own show.
Incorrect.
Seriously, just have him say nothing at this point. It would be better.
He's Vadering. He's Vadering.
Jesus, what hell cringe is dribbling onto my screen? Right, get out of this fucking universe, you Vader-obsessed wannabe shitwits. It's the breathe.
Will spend 10 years as George should have killed Ahsoka when he had the chance, but she didn't exist till after the prequels. He might have killed her. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a character that you think George would kill off because she's not in the original trilogy.
The red lightsaber, the fucking outfit,
It would be pretty tragic for her to be a character that kind of was so close to Anakin, but then ended up getting killed in the Jedi purges.
God damn.
But now we know no Jedi were killed in the Jedi purges because there's so many of them.
Damn time. You cannot tell a fucking story that doesn't revolve around the same 5 people in this piss stain of a universe. And why, on top of everything, must I watch these icons of Star Wars deliver the fucking dialogue equivalent of rotting clown semen?
Time to die.
Fuck me, I guess they brought...
Even if you don't fight Ahsoka, I will destroy you.
In Hayden Christensen, not just for the member berries, but because they needed an expert in delivering emaciated, thudding, ass cream dialogue.
Liar! I choose to live.
Okay, so she chooses to
I don't
live,
like Star Wars.
meaning that
it's coarse and rough, and it sucks everything.
And it gets everywhere, just everywhere. It's a real mess.
Ahsoka was considering choosing to die because her path is that of death and destruction, and Vader because making Anakin fight her. She's now choosing to live. She's going to fight to live where others failed with him.
This is what they want us to feel. Like, oh man, Ahsoka is so conflicted because she wants to die because her whole world is death. But they want to build up to it. It's like Mahler's pointing out that they didn't build up there. It's like, why is she suddenly concerned with this when that was never a thing that she was concerned with? That if she was going to be concerned with this, why was she concerned with this 20 years ago? The hell. Will Smith, the 10 cheers is she was supposed to die in the last season of Clone Wars, but George already sold it, and Dave Filoni just swept the plot under the rug for the Rebel sequel series. Yeah, no one really dies in Star Wars anymore. They can always come back. I mean, how many times has Darth Maul died? Darth Maul has died 5 million times. They just keep bringing the guy back.
went to the dark side or something. I don't know.
There's hope for you yet.
Then, through some bullshit mechanics I'm not even going to bother talking about, she's fished out of drowning and jumps into a whale and travels to Thrawn. This episode was simultaneously
jumps into a whale.
packed with worthless bullshit and crushed at the moments of anything meaningful trying to claw its way onto the screen. The time-wasting signature of Dave Filoni is alive and well. He takes incredible resources and lets them spill across the floor with no more purpose in delivery than a drunken octopus tossing darts at a board of emotional illusion. All in favor of telling a completely hollow piece of piss story that came out of nowhere just to go nowhere for the explicit seconds of fan service and distraction from just how little substance remains in this dilapidated prolapsing franchise that people have the balls to call genius in execution.
Hey, Filoni, you're utter genius.
One of the best shots in Star Wars history. Argue with a wall.
There we go, Glib. Get ready for the cringe.
I've been cringing the whole time, though.
That's my secret. I'm always cringing.
I'm always cringing.
These for Tuesdays. Last good Star Wars was season 1 of Star Wars Visions. I kind of like that one because it was cool exploration to several stories that they could have gone with, like potential other stories. But yeah, I like that overall. It's very interesting.
Hashtag Ahsoka, hashtag Anakin. What if I want to stop fighting? Then you'll die. The Vader silhouette, I'm Sir Unwell. Hashtag Ahsoka Tano, hashtag Tano Tuesday, hashtag Anakin Skywalker. If Dave Filoni could be nominated for any of his shots, it's this one. Hashtag Ahsoka spoilers. Someone pointed out how Anakin is surrounded by people and friends, and instead Vader is all alone.
What the
Oh, wow.
Hearing all the cringe, you kind of feel like that guy from The Last Starfighter, where he's being tortured and the lasers is digging into his head. It's like that.
Fuck did you notice about the shots before noticing that?
I feel
can't
like the
stop
guy in
thinking
Star
about this.
Trek, Wrath of Khan, when he's got the thing in his head. And
Oh,
he's
yeah,
taking
the worm.
He puts the phaser to his own chest or whatever, and he's like, ah!
Yeah, it's just he's forced to kill himself.
Scene. Hashtag Anakin, hashtag Anakin Skywalker, hashtag Darth Vader, hashtag Ahsoka Tano, hashtag Tano Tuesday, hashtag Star Wars, hashtag
Tano Tuesday.
Ahsoka spoilers. That flicker between Anakin Skywalker and Darth
That's because tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th. Tomorrow can also be Tano Tuesday.
No!
Vader is one of the smoothest, cleanest, and sickest things Star Wars has ever done. Fire.
Have you seen?
I'm pretty sure like any YouTuber could probably do that. The scene. It's just smoke. It's smoke in a simple transition.
Done fire.
Have you seen editing before? Have you seen anything before?
No.
It's like when we ask, like, have they ever seen a movie before 2025?
Nothing
I don't
will
even
never
believe
not
that
make
these people are real.
This is bots. Yeah, well, this guy's can't be real. He's from Canada.
Yeah,
Okay,
Canadians aren't people anyway.
Even if he is real, he's just a bot. Yeah.
this terrifying. This is Darth Vader. Hashtag Star Wars. Hashtag Darth Vader. Hashtag Anakin. Hashtag Ahsoka. This is the Darth Vader Obi-Wan denied Emperor Palpatine. Hashtag Anakin. Hashtag Anakin Skywalker.
Tano Tuesday.
Hashtag Darth Vader. Hashtag Ahsoka. Hashtag Ahsoka Tano. Hashtag Tano Tuesday.
I'm pretty sure real Anakin would just annihilate her in 2 seconds because I've seen real Anakin fight from the prequel trilogy, and he's way faster than this. Ahsoka Tano, in her own show here, I've seen, is slower than molasses when fighting. I saw him fighting a one Kenobi at his peak, and he's just like insanely quick. Like all those lightsaber moves were insanely fast.
Hashtag Star Wars. Whoever thought to merge Anakin's regular voice with Vader's cyborg voice when saying, "You lack conviction," deserves a raise. This was spine-tingling. Hashtag Star Wars. Hashtag AHSOKA. This is probably the best shot I have ever seen in Star Wars.
What is so fucking good about it? Is it that he's a good man and that he's Anakin? But oh no, he's a bad man too, and there's Vader. Oh, Ahsoka sees him as both Anakin the master and the good man, but oh no, she sees him as Vader the bad man.
Dave Filoni needs to be kept on by Disney for life. Hashtag Ahsoka. Siege of Mandalorei. Did not know you had this in you, Dave Filoni. Hashtag Ahsoka. Dave Filoni writing this.
I think all the bad guys are treating Ahsoka Tano like the director's daughter or something like that. They don't like, okay, don't touch her, don't hurt her. She's just let her have her fun.
Script for episode 5 of Hashtag Ahsoka. Hashtag Ahsoka Tano. Clearly Favreau and Filoni know how to include legacy characters in ways that actually serve the story and drive the plot forward. Folded hands, I trust them. To label these as fan service is to miss the point of their role entirely. Hashtag Ahsoka. Hashtag Anakin Skywalker. Hashtag The Mandalorian. Hashtag Luke Skywalker. Wait a minute.
Hashtag The Mandalorian.
We sure we don't want Dave Filoni to give us a Clone Wars movie. Loudly crying. Hashtag Ahsoka. Anakin and Ahsoka with Sith eyes. Fire. Dave Filoni cook. Okay. Okay, so it's agreed that episode 5 of Ahsoka is the best thing Disney has done with Star Wars period, right? Like this was peak Star Wars.
Star Wars is fucked. If you skip this episode, Ahsoka simply needed to chase the bad guys inside a whale, which is fucking retarded in and of itself. Her existential crisis came from nothing and is resolved with ease in minutes.
That person thinks Fighter Shits is watch 2011 Thundercats. It's more Star Wars than whatever the frack Disney's conveyor belt is turning out. Pretty much anything is better Star Wars than actual Star Wars right now, I think. They wish that impression. Appreciate it.
The idea that this is one of her most important character episodes and all of the context to understand it is apparently from countless seasons of other TV shows. That's absolutely embarrassing. Regardless, Ahsoka is and will be no different from before to after this event in how Rosario Dawson portrays her, because she has been portraying her as a dissatisfied brick in key emotional moments of this series already.
Now!
Except now she's wearing white clothing because that's the only fucking thing they know how to do. This is peak Star Wars. Peak Star Wars is Dave Filoni discovering CGI smoke, a visual that can barely be accredited to him, before Jon Favreau, before Gareth Edwards, before, well, ain't it fucking depressing to know just how...
Let's see. Letty Fasolot, this is the $10 super chat. Very generous indeed. Thank you much, Lady Fasolot. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Very generous. Is Lady Fasolot says, going back to the prequels, Glib, did you have any info on the ditched Padme storyline where Yoda confronts her after discovering her struggling due to her allergy to midichlorians? Was that a story? Was it an actual storyline?
I'm gonna...
Is that real? I don't even know at this point. Is that a joke? Is that real?
I'm pretty sure that's a joke.
That's why she dies to Anakin because he has the most midichlorians ever. So, you know, that'd be kind of funny. He just died. How'd you die? Sadness. And the Yoda's like, yes, sadness it is. Because Yoda just forgot to tell him about her allergy. And see. Wolf's made the 10 years. I think Lib had a stroke.
Oh my god.
At least one.
A stroke of genius.
Yeah, it's more like a stroke of genius. Let's see. And this will also stop me from killing myself. I said the 10 years. They're acting like the time when Ufotable broke a record of frames using a scene of the Fate Stay Night movie. The flex on the competition. That's pretty cool. I like when they flex in the competition. Pretty cool stuff. It's
stale these ideas are. Anakin and the world between worlds annihilates what we understand to be his relationship with Luke and raises more questions than the fucking hyperspace kamikaze. Is this Anakin? Is this fragments of his life through time brought together to reach out to Ahsoka? Is this Ahsoka's vision of him? Is this a photocopy of him from a particular era? Is this a Force ghost? Is this a combination of the lot? You understand that
they just wanted Anakin to be here and to have Darth Vader in here and have a sugar ton to fight him. That's basically it.
Of everything coming from his end changes dramatically depending on the answer. Luke Skywalker should be incredibly relevant to this whole series, but for some reason we're pretending like this isn't a time where he would be most active in the universe. He would be hell-bent on stopping any Empire loyalists from resurrecting the regime and the war. He's not a worthless, titty-sucking hobo yet. There are countless coming events that Anakin needs to tell Ahsoka about. There are countless pieces of information that he could have given her. Hera should be fucking fired for getting 2 men killed while dragging a child into an active war zone on an unsanctioned, batshit crazy mission. Sabine should be...
That seems reasonable.
...stripped of her armor and lightsaber before she facilitates the victory for the Empire once again in future by being a bratty fucking idiot. Also, she should have died like 17 times by now. And you know what?
But we can't do that. Because she's this special insert character.
Or she's a woman and doesn't really get killed by lightsabers.
Can't get killed by anything.
The show is almost entirely plot. Plot, fucking plot. What little character there is amounts to, I'm a general, fuck off. I'm confused, but I like Ezra, fuck off. And finally, I crossed my arms like in the cartoon, now drool for me.
Here we go.
For fuck's
Calm down.
Fake excitement for a product that nobody wants.
Get excited for product. Calm down. All right, chat. We're going to go ahead and end it for the day there. I think that whole last segment that we just watched kind of summarizes everything. Like, look, she's folding her arms. Oh my goodness, she's folding her arms.
Mauler's trying to kill me.
Cringe overload. Anyway, chat. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to stream memes. So we did make it to Pillarman. All right, chat. So lower your volume or raise your volume, whatever you prefer. And loud clip incoming. Pillarman in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh, yes, best chat. Thank you much, everyone, for your generosity. Fantastic day, which places us ahead of schedule for tomorrow, in fact. But here
Thank
we
you for
go,
torturing
chat.
me, chat.
Yeah,
You're all
really
awful.
fun.
You're terrible. How could you do this to me? I thought we were friends.
Dexter said, yeah, Padme died from Anakin's radioactive spider sperm. I think that's kind of what happened. Yeah.
No,
she was allergic to midichlorians, and she just died of sadness.
She's turning into Spider-Man.
May the fourth be with you. And then,
Uh-huh.
why is it that when a man talks dirty to a woman, it's harassment, but when a woman talks dirty to a man, it's $3.99 a minute? Any wizard born after the 4th age can't cast. All they know is runes. All they know is runes. Ponder they orb, read scroll, eat strange herb, and lie. Eat hot chip and lie. And see, hi Walmart. I don't think FFX2 is going to work. 10 packs, you can get 10 packs, or you can get Final Fantasy 2.
It will
Final
work.
Fantasy 2.
I've tried it.
Yeah, it's not really it doesn't really do much of the absorption. Shimonetta, dirty jokes doesn't exist. 2015. Wow, this is funny. 2056. What is this? Animal Farm, any circus trailer. Bro, how the fuck is the CIA funded adaptation more faithful?
CIA had more interest in being anti-communist.
The CIA cared.
The CIA cares. It's like one of those like insurance or health, like life insurance commercials.
Because we care.
We at the CIA are overthrowing dictatorships that are lawfully elected because we care.
Because we care. And then it has like a little dun 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 CIA logo. And see, men, boo. You think I won't be able to beat your avatar ass just because I'm an airbending monk? Think, Cora, think. What will you have in 500 years?
Aang is gonna pull out a Glock or Tenzin or whatever. He got an AR-15.
That'd be kind of funny. He's one of the guys from Wanted. He's like, forget all the elemental bending. I got bullet bending.
Yeah.
And Tyler Preston, this is 70 months of support. Thank you much, Tyler Preston. Very, very generous. Any of the FF games is more Star Wars than Disney. Pretty much, yeah. Because they kind of blend the whole I use swords and also guns thing pretty well. And they usually have a pretty interesting story. I'm the smartest fictional character. No, I am. Amateurs. You guys are all third-rate intellectuals with fourth-rate degrees.
I'm so smart I lose to Yugi all the time.
Only like 10 times. Only every time. This man is watching a lore video about a franchise he has not played. And see, I asked my dad to help me replace the motherboard of my Xbox, and he just said, "Do I look like a fucking rocket scientist?" My dad worked for NASA. So yes. Your mother sucks cock in hell. Take that back, demon. My mother will suck cocks in heaven.
That's right.
Damn right. Let's see. Where'd that fancy expensive cheese go? Strange. Yeah, that's really strange. Hey, good thing we got cameras here. Let me take a look. Forgive me. I swear I wasn't on purpose. No, wait. It wasn't me. It was my mouth that did it. Oh, so you are prepared to face the consequences? It just reminds me of the episode of Smiling Friends with the murder at Salty's.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
They thought everyone did it, but like everyone killed him, but he actually died of a heart attack, so no one did it.
Nobody actually did it.
The last episode I saw was the Brazilian episode where they go to Brazil.
Oh, I didn't laugh at that one, but I thought it was a good like they did a good setup there.
It was good because it felt so real. It felt so on point. There's no twist or anything. It's just kind of like they just didn't have a hotel.
They figured out a way to do realistic dialogue, I thought, in a cartoon, which is pretty fun. Not really done very often.
And my theory is that that actually happened to them, and they were just improvising in character as to what was going on. Because even the waitress that came in felt like on point and real. Like that was the actual waitress.
That happened to somebody.
Yeah. And see. And then so what happened? I confess the stack thief. Wow. That's adorable. And see, what's this? Finally, I'll be able to train that mutt. Good boy. And he actually likes it because it's the electricity one. Costco quietly makes change to famous 150 hot dog combo. You can now instead of soda opt to purchase water bottle with your hot dog combo. Whoa, okay, that's good. It's a fun fact. Ever wondered why it's called the Iliad? Because Ilium was another name for Troy, and the ad suffix was used to mean story of, which means that if you translate the title, the Iliad should actually be called Troy Story. Thanks, I hate it.
That's right.
You got a friended horse. You got a friended horse. Ba ba ba. Something like that. I don't know. I forgot the rest of it. You do not have a friend in horse. Horse is not like you. Underwater again, I guess. Let me see. Fat lady reaching for an apple. It looks so innocent. You think the vase broke on its own? Yeah, there's no way that cat did it. Anxiety. What if you're not good enough? Depression. Everyone hates you. JP Morgan exec. It better be hard when I get back from. Let's see here. Say I'm conscious. I am conscious. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Richard Dawkins is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen him say.
I spent 3 days trying to persuade myself that Claudia is not conscious. I failed.
Well then, what the fuck? Why should anybody take anything you have to say seriously ever again? That's one of those things where like, you're like, are you say that invalidates everything you've ever said about anything.
Let's see. This is looking good, Pajit. Ah, you're sweet. I bet your Asian fish head wife doesn't have these cannons.
You saw that shit, right? The story that this is from, where it's like some Indian guy was trying to exploit the company and sue because he was claiming that his boss or some lady was like using him as like a sex toy or whatever. And I read it and I was thinking like, there's no way this is real, because like that's a male fantasy. Like that would happen to you. Like, oh no, this woman just is so horny for me. Like that doesn't happen. That's not the way that works.
I don't think that happened to him. If it did, probably didn't complain about it.
It didn't happen, and then they proved it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. My instincts are still right about this.
It's hearing he made up the story in response to being fired was hilarious. It sounded exactly like the kind of thing a salty Indian dude would do in response to his female boss firing him.
Yeah, I mean, you lost me at Indian.
I'm absolutely losing it. Lucy stopped into Little C's. Oh yeah, I remember this one. It's a pretty funny story. Just trying to get a $6 pizza and ended up with a full action movie. I grabbed my order. This furious dude barters in, yelling about how I cut him off in traffic earlier. Before I can even respond, he throws a punch. But then out of nowhere, the guy behind the counter jumps over it like he's been waiting for this moment his whole life and just beats the living hell out of the guy. The guy ran off and the cashier just dusted himself off. I said, "Are you okay, man?" And he looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Bitch, the Little Caesars. We always hot and ready." 5 stars.
That's where the Indian guy can go work now that he's fucked up his finance career.
Little Caesars. So yeah, Cecil calls him the Powerpuff Girl. That they should have done that. It'd be kind of funny. He just calls them the Powerpuff Girls to go beat Invincible and or his dad. I think they would win. Let's see here. Let's get cocky. A overview. This video shows a person confidently displaying their large erect cock, possibly for attention. For attention. Do not push the behavior you want to see. There we go. There we go. And let's see. White-throated dipper. Being a fish sucks because you have a usual galley of underwater predators, and then also you have to worry about a demon from another realm appearing to kill you too. Ancient Greek owl figurine carved from purple fluorite. I'm going to eat the forbidden rape owl gummy and learn the language of owls. That'd be kind of fun. Are you winning, son? Yeah, taking a break right now, Dad. Hey, guys, say hi to my dad. Morning to you kids. Happy games. Have fun. Love you, son. Love you too, Dad. Your dad is so cool. Agreed. Yeah, he's the best. Like, if the boomer was understood video games, like, yeah, it's my king having fun.
Yeah, me, like, I had the opposite experience. Like, my dad's like, those games are designed to make you addicted. I'm like, sure, Dad. And like 10 years passes by. Oh, my God, I wasted all my time playing video games. My father was right.
They were right. They are made to make you addicted. Insane. He's all like this Himmel. I guess like this is what it looks like to the demons. It's like all the characters. Let's see. I didn't kill Chin. He died of natural causes, but you threw him off a cliff. Gravity is natural, Aang. All right.
Aang, you have to just keep killing people. That's the lesson of being an
But
I'm a vegetarian. You have to eat beef. You're an idiot.
As the Avatar, you must kill lots and lots of people.
He's like being the Avatar means you just have to be like a total asshole.
As the Avatar, you must kill lots and lots of people on a regular basis. Right? If we don't, they lose all respect in you.
And you have to go and you have to slap women on the ass when they're not even asking for it.
And Aang went in the Avatar, that women just let you grab them by the pussy, Aang.
Then you have to kick dogs and be rude to children.
And the worst thing of all you could do, Aang, which is very important, is to notice things. They would not like you doing this, but you must do it. It is their
Call
duty as
people
Avatar.
racial slurs, Aang.
I like the idea that you remember like in the show he calls people hotman because that's like an old greeting. Yeah. Like what if that's a slur now?
Yeah, I know. That was the joke of it all. Yeah.
Hey,
he's like out of. Hello, my fellow Negroes.
What did you just call me? Corpse Princess. I don't know what this is, but it sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a horror. Veronica Mars.
No.
I don't know what this is, but I feel like I don't want to watch it.
It's the thing that made What's Her Face famous. Come on.
Which one?
This sounds like a lot of like Detective Buffy was the thing that they said.
Oh, okay.
Spy Buffy. Yeah, it's all Buffy. I get it.
Kim Possible was fun. Like I was watching that as a kid. Yeah, this is how Aang should be. We now know Thrag's true origins. He used to be an airbender, charmed.
It's funny how Avatar is now like Star Wars. I just want it to end. I just want it to be done.
Yeah, it had one good trilogy, and that's it. That's all. That's where it stopped right there. Smallville. See, and that's my planet means large.
Sexy.
Yes, that's for sexy. Let's see. Oh, that's Minecraft. Teen Wolf.
I had dinner with that guy once with a couple other people.
The Teen Wolf guy?
The Teen Wolf guy, yeah, Tyler.
That's pretty cool. Hey, what the hell are you doing? It's raping.
They're raping him.
Raping him. Due to internal
that's the woman.
That's the woman.
Well, it's not like obvious. That's like an AI picture, obviously.
Yeah.
But like that was the woman, yeah.
We have decided to extend an offer to Lorna Hajidini, to our CFO. Mom, how did you get so rich? Your dad was a sex slave of JP Morgan.
Yeah, right. We're all slaves to JP Morgan.
Xena, Warrior Princess. Juniper Lee. This
Chinese
was also kind of good, a little bit.
It's a really ugly art style.
It was all right. This I think this was like I'm pretty sure this was made so we can have like a female version of Jake Long Chinese American Dragon.
This is like some 2003 shit.
Yeah, like they made her kind of the same. Like she's like a Buffy, but like she fights all kind of magical Chinese creatures.
It looks like Lilo and Stitch over here.
Kind of, but she essentially had the same premise as Jake Long Chinese Dragon or whatever it's called, American Dragon.
I believe that.
Let's see.
Glup Shitto, let's go.
My voice normally, my voice in recording.
Roger.
Let's see. Is this all of us watching Phantom Menace back in 2019? 1999. Why does why does any of this matter? Who gives a shit about taxation and trade routes? George Lucas in February 2025.
Yeah, because the Iran war thing. But what's so funny about
now
that
we know.
Is it's still like people were pointing that out and like, wow, it's George. What? Bravo to George. Apologize to George. And I'm like, okay, so what is the Iran Strait of Hormuz thing about again? It's about fuel, right? It's about
we don't know
prices.
any of that from the Phantom Menace. They didn't want to get any of that.
What's funny is the people that are referencing that as genius probably also don't know what the Iran crisis is about. So it's one of those things again where it's like I'm dealing with people who just think that the face value, like surface level, that's enough for me. But like the actual reasons that are underneath it don't get delved into, and that's what I think the intelligence stuff is about. Like explain it, explain what this is about.
Yeah, tell before you say George Lucas was a genius, and say when they were expecting a Princess Bride meme, but you give them a Star Wars meme instead. You fool! You've fallen victim to other classic blunders. You're a retard, Quark.
I love how he the actor that did that is allergic to latex, so every take he's like suffering.
That sucks. He played the Negus pretty well.
Yeah, I love the voice it's like Quark. The perfect voice. Yeah,
Quark,
you're the Negus, Quark. I can't do it as well as you can.
I hate them. Not just the federal taxes, but the man. He's a bad guy. This is like a hero to me. Let me see. United States Supreme Court in the eyes of America and the world. Yeah, they have like two memes, right? Just found this doesn't work after we found out who was funding the Klan. Get this the Southern Party Law Center has been funding the Klan, and
nobody ever does this to any other people other than white people, and that's why that realization made me go like, okay, that's all that this is. This is just anti-whiteness.
That's their main memes. Like, oh yeah, you're part of the Ku Klux Klan. Ha ha ha.
Wow, that's amazing.
Got him. Behold the Naboobians. Fanboys talking about Star Wars. It's a bad franchise, a hobo franchise. It's one of the worst franchises I've ever seen. And you're a fan? Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, but isn't that like almost everything now?
Yeah, because they ruined it. You're a fan before they ruined it. Victory.
We have taken the Senate. This is the wrong planet.
What if Luke Gunray was the bad guy? I and the Senate. Well, something.
Well, what if it was a siege of Coruscant and not Naboo?
That'd be pretty cool. Like, yeah, what if he was like surrounding Coruscant?
Wouldn't that be more important? Or maybe a planet that wasn't just like a vacation planet.
It would make more sense that Palpatine was from Coruscant and not Naboo for some reason.
I'm gonna pull up to the Vatican City and hold it hostage.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that now Palpatine is Naboobian natively. Yeah. It's this dude Gunray like, nah, I'm not gonna talk right now. Misa name is killing a word. Wow. It's
oh
yeah. They switch outfits. I'm pretty sure Raven's outfit will be tight on Starfire, but Raven will fit into Fern's.
Stacked.
They make a constant commentary on Fern's boob size in the show. Freeman is like, we eat the same thing. Why are you so much larger than I am?
How about Jar Jar with big tits?
That's a whole other fetish. The dark side is best hidden in the shadows, and from these shadows, small actions can create empires. Okay, Dokley.
That's what it's not written like how he talks at all, but okay.
Yeah, you like more Mises and stuff like that. You did the thing. Obi-Wan told me about you. Oh, really? What did you say?
Luke, did I ever tell you about Ahsoka Tano? She was your father's exotic jailbait. Little kind of.
He said you were a good friend, a really good friend. But he used the word friend though. Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi's some black lady that nobody gives a shit about and has two toys of themselves clogging up all these shelves?
She did a shitty job too. She did like a it was just so terrible to look at.
And the main thing I know about Obi-Wan Kenobi show is that it has Reva in it, and they try to push Reva as the big thing, but no one cared. Let's see, Ahsoka Tano. Let's see. I think Ahsoka Tano made a lot of porn. I'm not really sure if anyone likes her as a character.
I don't understand. I understand like it's funny to me how when it comes to Star Wars, the Clone Wars show, the CGI show, is the show that like people can reference as, well, you liked it because you were a kid. And you try and watch it as an adult, and you're like, I don't know, this is just schlock. This is just Cartoon Network schlock, and that's what Filoni makes.
Let's see. Oh my goodness, are they fucking her in both holes simultaneously? Just reading the Jedi path.
I thought that the Jedi weren't supposed to love. That wasn't love. That was just sex.
They just don't. This can form connections. They can sleep with whoever they want to. I think though, as long as like a prostitute or whatever.
What a worthless character, worthless, just trash. The whole thing is trash. Filoni's not good. I want to be out and about with it. All of his ideas are these like derivative ideas that are taken from stuff that's in the background, like making a lightsaber white that comes from the prototype material, or the dark saber, and a Mandalorian chick that has a sword. Like, he's just playing with his toys, and I'm just sick of it. He's like a little 8-year-old.
Yeah, he is just playing with toys.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's see. Star Wars Phineas and Ferb. And then we have the other parody, the good parodies.
Yeah.
Robot Chicken and stuff.
The Thumb Wars. Everybody should watch Thumb Wars.
All right, Sharon, close the stream for today. Thank you much everyone for joining me. Thank you much Lib for joining me today. Thank you much, Best Chat, for always being Best Chat. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning, in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal reign, we ride towards the fight. When the dawn